58 degrees. Here in the booth, it's Chuck Long and I'm Brandon Gaudin. We have a third member of our on-air crew down in those raindrops, and we welcome in Brian Tripp.
Thank you, Brandon. Fortunately, for the time being, the rain has stopped, but it absolutely poured prior to warm-ups here today. The field was uncovered, and it is going to be slick. Also, how will the players handle the wet football here today? Saquon Barkley, Penn State's running back, did have trouble pregame handling the football, and as Chuck mentioned, turnovers will be a problem. Brandon, both teams practice outside in the rain this week. We'll see how they handle it here today.
There will certainly be a challenge. In addition to Brian Tripp on the sideline, we have Dick Honig, our rules analyst, back in the studio. He's on hand for any and everything we might need. 22 years Dick spent as a Big Ten official, 11 as a replay official, so we are in very good hands with Dick Honig. And it is time for our Auto Owners Insurance Impact Players. And let's see, when Minnesota has the football, Chuck Long, who are we looking at?
Well, Mitch Leidner can do it with his legs and his arm. And that Leidner, the Wolatarski combination has been prolific this year. Brandon Smith, young linebacker, get him lined up, get him ready to go. Big role for him today.
And then flip sides, how about when the Nittany Lions have the ball?
Well, Trace McSorley and Chris Godwin were good the first 3 games, not so good in the last game. They need to get back to those first 3 games, have that combination going today, and they need to find a way to block Steven Richardson of Minnesota. He's a wrecking ball in there.
He had 4 tackles for a loss in their win last week against Colorado State. As you get a look at Tracy Claeys, a 48-year-old head coach, took over last year when Jerry Kill announced his retirement. So Tracy Claeys is the man on the side for the Golden Gophers, looking to get them to 4-0. And then it's a fired-up James Franklin there in the middle of that huddle, a spirited Coach Franklin. And he is, as you see, 16-14 so far in his 3rd year with the Nittany Lions. And we talked about it in the open, but at 2-2, Penn State right now in a little bit of a precarious situation. They need to protect their home turf.
They do. You want to hold serve at home in the Big Ten, especially in this Eastern Division. You know, when you have Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State right at the top there, you need to hold serve at home, and here's a chance for Penn State to do that.
And it will be Penn State kicking off. Joey Julius, he can not only kick it, he can tackle as well, Chuck Long.
Love the way, I did the first game here, Brandon. It was a big hit in the first game. He loves to kick it, go down and hit. Let's see if he can do that today. We'll have the focus on him again. There it is again. he's become a folk hero here.
Now, he tackled Jordan Lewis of Michigan. After the game, Jordan Lewis tweeted, "I got hit by a nose tackle that can kick." And I think that's very apropos as you look at Joey Julius, and back deep to return it, Jalen Myrick. So Julius at 5'10", all 270 pounds of him, kicks it away. He's got a strong leg, and he backs Myrick up deep into the end zone, and Minnesota will start at the 25.
And nobody even tried to block him coming down the field.
We will see plenty more of Mr. Julius as the game progresses. He does not do the field goals. He is just the kickoff man, but he is an exciting young man to watch. And there is Mitch Leidner, 5th-year senior. This is his 33rd career start.
Well, he completed 80% of his footballs against Colorado State. He's had a hot hand lately, but he can also beat you with his legs. So look for some quarterback run game today as well to keep that Penn State defense honest.
Starting in the backfield is Rodney Smith, and they do give it to Smith. A little bit of a second effort, got him a couple yards to the right of center, tackled by the corner Christian Campbell.
Now you're going to see a pro-style offense with Minnesota. They're one of the rare pro-style offenses in the country right now, with a fullback, 2 backs, and a feature Wolatarski, the wide receiver. He has double the catches as the next receiver, and that can happen in a pro style.
We'll continue to track those Penn State linebackers as Leidner goes play action, and he completes it on the run to Drew Wolatarski. So we just talked about him a couple moments ago, and Wolatarski hauls it in on the right side near a first down, and they will give him first down yardage.
And a good start. They run the first play, then they fake the run, come out on a little bootleg. Nice accuracy to the outside to keep him going to the outside. Don't put it behind him where a guy can make the tackle. Good accuracy by Leidner.
Those receptions and yards, #1 on the team. As now Wolatarski will sit this play out. A pistol look here. Leidner, the quarterback, with Rodney Smith behind him. And it will be Rodney Smith who had 99 yards and 2 touchdowns last weekend in the win over Colorado State, gets a second carry there for 3.
What you love about Rodney Smith, he's only 5'11", 205 pounds, but he'll stick it up in there now. He's quick and elusive. He can get to the outside, a nice game breaker, but you saw in that run, he'll stick it up in there when there's no hole. Showed some toughness there, Brandon.
Tracy Claeys, he told us one big thing to watch out for is how his team gets off the ball, because this is their first true road game. Of course, it can get very loud here in Happy Valley. That'll be something to track as Shannon Brooks comes in at one of the wide receiver spots, but that one is through the hands, incomplete. Tyler Johnson, the freshman wideout from the slot, couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, Johnson needs to come up with that ball. It's an easy play-action slant. It's right on the money there. He needs, and they're high on Tyler Johnson. They think he has some great upside, but someone else has to catch the ball besides Wolotarski for Minnesota, and that was an easy pitch and catch, or a chance to catch. It didn't do it.
Could be the elements coming into play early. It rained heavy all morning. Not raining right now, as Brian Tripp told us, but just kind of a constant miss and very damp in the air. They go pistol look again. Leidner too wide of his intended target, Wolotarski, and that will bring up 4th down, and Minnesota will punt it away.
Now, Minnesota's been great on 3rd downs this year, 56%, but they've all been 3rd, medium, and short. So that was a long yardage play. They did not connect, and that's what Penn State needs to do. Get them in 3rd and longs so they can get them off the field. Good job by the Penn State defense.
Yeah, 56% on 3rd downs for Minnesota. And that has been a sticking point for Penn State. We'll certainly discuss that when they have the football. And they're getting ready to have the football. John Reed back. Takes it from the 12. Nowhere to go. Nice special teams tackle by Thomas Barber. Coming up and clipping him by the right ankle to pin the Nittany Lions deep. 13:07 first quarter. Nittany Lions will have it when we get back. Minnesota, they stalled pretty quickly, and now the ball will go over to Penn State, and they are led by the sophomore sensation Saquon Barkley. Had a pretty good game against Pittsburgh, Chuck Long.
And they need to get back to that game plan, because he scored 5 touchdowns, all different kinds of ways. Here he is on the pass reception, on the catch and run for the touchdown. They need to find a way to get him the ball early in this game. Last week against Michigan, now they threw the ball the first 3 plays of the game, and they were 3 and out. Let's see if they change. Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator, changes that up this week and gives Saquon Barkley the ball early in this first series.
Barkley, 5 touchdowns against Pittsburgh, 7 total on the season for the sophomore from Copley, Pennsylvania, and he is standing to the right of the quarterback, Trace McSorley, but McSorley wants to throw, and he's got it complete to Deshaun Hamilton. Hamilton and Godwin, they're the top 2 guys at wideout, and they're the redshirt junior. Hamilton with the first reception.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Nice little play fake by McSorley to Deshaun Hamilton. That combination needs to happen as well, along with Godwin. And I like what McSorley has done. He got hot against that Pittsburgh defense in the last 2 minutes of the first half.
McSorley this time goes left side, and that's complete to DeAndre Tompkins. It's Tompkins' 21st birthday today, and he celebrates with an early first down reception.
Well, they want to spread it out. When you have a spread offense, you want to spread the ball evenly with each player. Here they go to Hamilton, and then they go to Tompkins the next play, and they're going hurry up, tempo.
Trace McSorley out of the gun, and he will give it to Barkley, trying to stretch it out the right side. This is going nowhere. Sniffed out Demarius Travis, the safety, the redshirt senior, coming up, number 7 in white, to make the tackle.
Oh, just a little stretch play to the outside here, and Minnesota was all over that. There's no lead blocker there. They couldn't get the tackle or the guard out there in front. Saquon beat his guard out there.
Loss of 5, so 2nd and 15, backs him up to the 16-yard line. McSorley fakes a give. And a nice outstretched arms catch near the 25 by Chris Godwin. He's going against a very talented corner in Jalen Myrick. That'll be a fun battle to track.
Here's the replay. It's an out route. It's a simple out route. Right now, Minnesota's playing soft coverage on these wide receivers, and they're allowing them to get off the ball, and that's dangerous. You're gonna have to play some bump and run, which you're doing right now. They decided to play a little bump. You're gonna have to against this offense, otherwise they'll pitch and catch all day long on you.
So it was 2nd and 15, now 3rd and 7. They need to get the ball to the 32. McSorley being pressured, and it's batted away, incomplete. Tried to fit it into Deshaun Hamilton. Stephen Richardson and company were bringing pressure, and then it was knocked away by Antoine Winfield.
Well, you have to find a way to block Stephen Richardson, and Penn State's offensive line has had trouble all year long. McSorley's had some pressure this year, and you saw it right there. Nice pressure, and he just had to throw the ball the best way he could. Watch that throw. That's a dangerous throw. Could have been an interception.
Winfield, number 11, who made the break up there, son of former Bills and Vikings cornerback Antoine Winfield Sr. He's Antoine Winfield Jr., so a good bloodline making a nice play. That one was almost blocked. Fair catch called for by Myrick and taken around the 40, and we do have a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. We're about to meet our referee, Don Willard, for the first time. So that one is going against Minnesota.
Personal foul. Leaping. Number 56 on defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Nick Rollis jumped over the wall, and you cannot do this.
Yeah, this is a no-no, trying to leap. Just trying to protect players. It's a good rule.
By the way, fans, if you're looking for the Purdue-Maryland game, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. btn.com/gamefinder. That one down in College Park. So the penalty gives Penn State a first down at the 40. Play action. McSorley going deep. But he airmails the intended target, Deshaun Hamilton. And it'll bring up second down.
I want to get back to my point against that Pittsburgh game. I felt that Trace McSorley really came of age in this offense the last 2 minutes of the first half of the Pittsburgh game. Here's the route right here. Just a little seam out and up. And great coverage by Antoine Winfield.
Brings up a 2nd and 10. This one complete to Tompkins. A birthday boy, though, he dropped it. Didn't have it long enough. Incomplete. It's not a fumble.
Third down.
He never fully had possession of it, so that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was just a trap defense, they call it, on the outside. Cover 2 trap. Ooh, that's how you tackle.
What do you think? Did he make a football move? Should that have been a fumble or 2 bang, incomplete, the right call?
I think it's incomplete. Right call.
McSorley on 3rd and 10. Gets it out to his tight end, Mike Gesicki, but he is tackled well short of the marker. Nice play by Cody Polk, the linebacker, to bring him down and bring up 4th.
It really was a nice tackle by Cody Polk. He's beat, and he's falling to the ground.
On this punt as it takes a Minnesota bounce into the end zone. So both teams show nothing on their first possessions. We're scoreless in Happy Valley. Coming up on an all-new episode of The Journey, see why Michigan tight end Jake Butt chose to return for his senior year. Also hear how J.T. Barrett went from Wichita Falls, Texas to Columbus. Find out how Tommy Armstrong handles the pressure being quarterback at Nebraska, and go all access with Lovie Smith. Plus highlights from the weekend. The Journey, Big Ten Football 2016, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern and anytime on BTN to go. Mitch Leidner, the 5th-year senior from Lakeville, Minnesota. Back out there, each team has had a drive. Neither has scored. First quarter action. Back to Rodney Smith. Haven't seen Shannon Brooks, but we will out of the backfield. That time it's Rodney Smith, though, with a carry and a 6-yard gain.
Well, so far, nothing up the middle in the first couple series. Now they get to the outside, and Rodney Smith gets a few, and gets a few on his own as well. You have to mix it up inside and outside to have a balanced run game.
Two receivers out to the left side, but they'll go again on the ground. And fighting for hard yardage there. Rodney Smith staying on his feet before being dragged out by Marcus Allen. So Rodney Smith, we mentioned 99 yards a week ago, and some hard running here early at Penn State.
Well, when the guard pulls, it's called a power scheme. And Rodney Smith, nice job. Just keep your feet moving, keep your pads down low, and holding on to that football is most important. Good hard run by Rodney Smith. I'm impressed with his power for being, he's not a real big back. And I think of him more of as an elusive speed and quick back, but he is showing some power today.
Penn State has Christian Campbell down, and this is the last thing they need. They have had so many injuries defensively. Now, Campbell's a cornerback. Their injuries have mainly been isolated to the linebacker position, but certainly something that James Franklin and company don't need right here.
And he really played well against Michigan last week. He stuck out on film to me.
He's been starting with Grant Haley out. Grant Haley's supposed to be back in this one.
Right here. Just landed on the left ankle, looked like.
He got tangled up there with Colton Beebe, and now he's up.
And that's not a good guy to get tangled up with. Colton Beebe's 270 pounds. And is a big fullback for Minnesota. He's instrumental for this offense, but quarterbacks don't like to see 270-pounders coming at him.
Colton Beebe, you'll see him both at fullback and tight end. Widener, pressure coming in his face, but he's able to complete it to the tailback, Rodney Smith. Right now, it's a one-man show for number one.
That was a route right out of the backfield, and Mitch Leidner took a shot. They missed the protection. They missed the protection here on Manny Bowen. But look at the air on the football and a great catch in between that zone on the side.
Manny Bowen, who made that hit, probably their best available linebacker with all the injuries they've had. This time a keeper, Leidner, he can run it, but he doesn't run it very well right there because he had Navy shirts all around him.
Well, when you talk to defensive coordinator Brent Pry at Penn State, they wanted to stop Mitch Leidner in the quarterback run game. They did a nice job of keying on Mitch. I think Leidner should have handed that ball off. That's a run option. And he should have handed that ball off. Leidner misread that.
Leidner has over 1,200 rushing yards in his career. He also has 26 rushing touchdowns. Shannon Brooks now in the game, but Leidner wants to throw it instead of hand it off. And it was in the area of Wolitarsky, but well high.
And Torrance Brown, number 19 for Penn State, has applied some pressure here. Both lines having some trouble right now protecting. Had forced Mitch Leidner to throw it too early. He wasn't ready to throw the ball, but he had to get it up there quick before he got hit.
Number 19, Torrance Brown, when we watched him on film, he said he's all around the ball against Michigan, showing it there.
3rd and long now. This is where Minnesota doesn't want to be.
They need 12 yards. Pocket clean. And it is almost picked off. Frustrated is Brandon Smith. That one sort of went in and out of the linebacker's hands. Nearly his first career interception, but still defensive coordinator Brent Pry has to be happy.
He has to be because they're playing well and they're in solid positions defensively. Just missed through the football. Dangerous throws over the middle. That's the interception area. That's where more interceptions take place. Veteran quarterback needs to know that. And be careful with your throws on a 3rd and long.
By the way, seeing that replay, it was 6'10" Nate Wozniak, the intended target, who just got his fingertips on it. If he was 6'8", maybe that was an interception. So fair catch called for and taken. No score first quarter in Happy Valley. Offense total between the two teams and no score. 8-17 first quarter. Beaver Stadium's been around since 1960, and Penn State football's been around a lot longer than that. 130 years and 858 victories. How about that for some tradition?
That's tradition. 130th year. How many schools can say that?
Not many, that's for darn sure. And I mentioned that this stadium opened back in 1960. Back then it seated 46,000. Now the capacity over 106,000. Saquon Barkley can't shake free. And a nice tackle by Jalen Myrick.
Great tackle by Jalen Myrick, because great backs usually can make the first guy miss. And Saquon Barkley did not do that. That's a nice tackle by Myrick in the open field. Penn State going tempo.
Yeah, just a 1-yard gain. Now they do go tempo back to Barkley. That time a little bit better. Before third down comes up, we toss it to Chicago and Rick Pizzo.
Hey, Brandon, Maryland is on the board first in State College. Perry Hill's 11 yards to Telgus Morgan. Trips had a tricky little 2-point conversion to follow. Maryland leads Purdue 8-0.
Thank you, Rick. And now before the third down play, flags come in.
This will probably be defensive line here.
Offside. Defense, number 97. Moving in the losing zone causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
That's Scott Ekpe. He and his brother Hank both on the D-line, but that one is against the older brother.
Yeah, you see Ekpe right here just jumping. And that's what happens when you go tempo. You know, you want to get off the ball and get off the ball fast.
So first down, back to Barkley. He breaks it outside. 40. He's got midfield and a little bit more. Saquon Barkley with the first explosive play of the game.
Well, offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead of Penn State threw the ball early. Now he's going back to his bread and butter. Just a little counter play. As I said before, all good backs make the first one miss, which he did. Big gain. They're getting some rhythm in the run game.
Offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead, got to look at him for a second. Back to Barkley. Able to stay on his feet for a couple across the 45 to the 44.
Same counter play the other side. And why they're doing that? They're pulling guards. Why? Because you get angle blocks, and it's better when you don't have a great offensive line to run the counter play.
Joe Moorhead, first-year offensive coordinator, spent the last 4 years as the head coach at Fordham from 2012 to 2015, and he likes this spread no-huddle attack. So Barkley gets a little break in the backfield. McSorley throws it too high and too far for Chris Godwin.
Nice protection for Penn State there to allow Trace McSorley to step into his throw. Here he is in the pocket, steps up, barely gets it off. Good protection, though. That, you know, he gave him plenty of time to throw the ball. And protection means you're firm right in the middle with your guards and center. When they're firm, you can step into your throws.
Bringing the pressure that time was number 88, Winston De Latta Badir, just a freshman. But they like what they have in him through the Golden Gophers. So now a 3rd and 8. Trips to the left side for Trace McSorley. And we've got a whistle before a timeout was taken by Penn State prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap, first charge, timeout of the half. Penn State, 30 seconds in length.
James Franklin and company will have a chance to talk it over. What do you think they go to here, 3rd and 8?
Well, Coach Joe Moorhead didn't like the player or the defense, and he had to run to Coach Franklin and say, hey, call this timeout. This is not a good play.
That's Joe Moorhead in the white on the right side of your screen. As I mentioned, first-year coordinator. Well, we have the moment here. Let's go down to the sideline and Brian Tripp for an injury update.
Brandon, Penn State cornerback Christian Campbell was carted off. He has a right leg injury. He was visibly upset. It does not look like he is going to return. Also, Penn State number 6, Malik Golden, their safety, leading tackler, was not on the field the last couple of drives. He's on the sidelines. He's wearing a uniform but a baseball cap here today.
And Malik Golden, very good safety for Penn State. Injuries, unfortunately, for James Franklin. This has to be frustrating. They keep piled up. He told us he's never seen anything like it in his career, all the injuries he's had to deal with, and his team has had to deal with. Back to Barkley. He gets it down just shy of the 40.
And they ran the ball. You see, they might go for it here on 4th down. The reason why they ran the ball here. They had 2 downs. It was a direct snap, accidental direct snap. This good heads up by Barkley catching that football. Here they are going for it.
The center, Brian Guy, a 30th career start with that errant snap, and they will go for it on 4th and 5 with 6 minutes left of the first quarter. So James Franklin taking a chance, and will it pay off? He might have been tackled a little short. They got it to Mike Gesicki, the tight end, but Jalen Myrick, we've already called his name several times, but they're going to give him a first down, and Myrick can't believe it.
They gave him a good spot. Little crossing route to Gesicki. Bread and butter. It's your tight end in a crossing route. Always a good 3rd and medium, 4th and medium play.
Moving on the field, it's a completed pass for a first down. Plays under further review.
Don Willard is going to put on the headset and talk with our replay official, Stephen Beckman. From the naked eye, I thought he looked short, but we are not directly lined up with a marker either.
I thought he looked short, too. It looked like they gave forward progress. There's the crossing route. Nice pitch and catch. Kept him on the move. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he made it.
Needed to get to the 36, and Myrick, he never let him go forward. He never let Gesicki get any forward movement.
I don't think he made it.
Gesicki pleading his case.
That was a nice tackle by Jalen Myrick because Gesicki's 6'6", 252 pounds, and there was no forward progress on that tackle.
Well, Jalen Myrick last week in their win against Colorado State had a very costly 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty late that kept Colorado State in it. And Coach Tracy Claeys was angry at him, and he said, you better have a bounce-back week. So far, he is.
So far, he's their best cover corner. And look for him to match up with Chris Godwin all day today. They're going to mix it up because Godwin's their best receiver for Penn State. And they'll flip Jalen Myrick from side to side, whoever Godwin is. But he's their best defensive back. Good cover corner, can tackle as you see there. Plays with toughness. But I think he stopped Gesicki.
Penn State 54 yards of offense, Minnesota 42, and here we go. We got the verdict.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Penn State.
Always key to note that Don Willard did not say it was confirmed. It stands, so they probably didn't have enough evidence to overturn it. But a big break for Penn State, and they will keep the football and have it 1st and 10 at Minnesota's 36.
And you see Myrick at the top of the screen lined up on Godwin. Let's look at that matchup all day long, see how it plays out.
Hamilton in the slot on the right side. But that one is incomplete, trying to get it to Saquon Barkley out of the backfield.
I like what Coach Joe Moorhead is doing for his offensive line this week. When you watch the Michigan game, McSorley took a lot of hits. Well, he's running a lot of play action today, which slows down the pass rush because the defensive line and linebackers have to play run, and then they rush the quarterback. So he's working some play action right now to keep that pass rush at a minimum.
Yeah, that was a big-time problem for them against the Wolverines in that 49-10 loss last week. Penn State 0-1 in Big Ten play. First Big Ten game for Minnesota. Deep ball over the head of DeAndre Tompkins. They've targeted him 3 times. Crowd wanted pass interference on Antoine Winfield, but they're not going to get the flag.
I didn't like that call by Joe Moorhead. I thought he should have ran the ball with Saquon Barkley, your 2nd and 10. Here it is, just a corner route. And Tompkins just stops to try to get the penalty. It's an uncatchable ball. Tompkins needs to keep running to the football.
There really was no argument from Tompkins, but about 80,000 here in Happy Valley didn't like it. They thought he was bumped for interference, but as you said, probably uncatchable. And now keeping it, McSorley. And he gets close to first down yardage. He's going to be about a yard short, and that'll bring up 4th.
And we talked to Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator, yesterday, Brandon. What did he say? Hey, we need to run Trace McSorley a little bit more. That's a nice read by McSorley. They all went to Barkley. Big yards. Here they are again.
So they got the earlier 4th down conversion. Can they get it once more? Barkley fighting for the yardage. And once again, it's another close one. Minnesota saying no, Penn State saying yes. But Duke McGee, the safety, came up to make a hard hit. And they say no first down there. They're not even going to measure it. Minnesota takes over.
Duke McGee, just a little counter play. He just got lower than Barkley. It's all about leverage and tackling, and he got lower than Barkley did. Barkley's pads are a little bit too high going into the hole. Oh, that's a nice hit. Keeping your leg drive going.
You think McGee's fired up? He and teammate Demarius Travis and Jalen Myrick. That secondary coming up and making some big tackles early. Rodney Smith in the backfield, but Leidner wants to throw. Pocket collapsing. Leidner keeps it alive and slings it downfield, complete into Penn State territory, finding Brian Smith.
The poise and experience of a senior quarterback. Everything breaks down. He flushes out of the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field, which all good quarterbacks do. Throws a nice catchable ball, keeping the play alive with his feet.
Over 5,700 career passing yards. Throwing to a senior, only his 7th career catch there for Brian Smith.
And you saw Brian Smith coming back to that ball after he broke his route off.
Rodney Smith just had his 5th carry. He's up at 25 yards.
Minnesota wants to stay ahead of the chains here. They don't want to get in those third longs. They're not very good there.
2nd and 6. Up the gut again with Rodney Smith. And that surge will get him a first down. He has had some great yards after contact on 3 different plays. Redshirt sophomore, 205 pounds from Jonesboro, Georgia, gives him a new sack.
Just a little fold scheme, and Cameron Brown was right there in the hole and had a chance to stop him. But Rodney Smith, look at his leg drive and power. Very impressed with him early in this football game.
Shannon Brooks now in the backfield. Throwing as he's hit over the head of Colton Beebe. Getting in there, Manny Bowen, the linebacker, was coming right in the face of Mitch Leidner.
And for some reason, they're not blocking Manny Bowen on a blitz. Manny Bowen's free to the quarterback here. And that's tough when you have to spin all the way around and make a throw to the flat. Not many quarterbacks can do that. And they had to find a way to block Manny Bowen off the edge. Otherwise, Penn State's going to keep doing this.
2nd and 10. No score, 3:38 first quarter. And there's the other man, Shannon Brooks. Down near the 20 from Minnesota, first down. If it's not Smith, it's Brooks. It's a great 1-2 combo out of the backfield.
Great 1-2 combo because Shannon brings that power as well. Not as fast as Smith, but he has power. Here he is, this off-tackle play. What I like about Shannon Brooks is he's patient. He has great vision and patience, as you saw there. Lets his block set up in front of him.
He returned from a broken bone in his right foot last week, had 85 yards, said he felt great, so they're ready to give him more work. But this time a throw is complete to the outside and getting it down inside the 10. Brian Smith with his 2nd reception. I just said it a moment ago, he's a 4th-year guy. First year seeing any snaps, and he already has 2 catches in this game.
Good job by Leidner, moving his body all the way around, flips his hips, gives it to Brian Smith. Nice hands, and run after the catch.
This is the closest that the Gophers have been here. 1st and goal. Handoff, left side run, flag comes in. Down about the 3 goes Shannon Brooks. Let's see what the flag is about. This one may be coming back.
Could be a hold up front.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, they ran it the way of the left tackle, Garrison Wright, and he got the flag.
Yep. Here's Garrison Wright. You see the hands right there on the jersey. You have to keep those hands lower and inside. Just a little too high and outside, and the referees will call that every time.
Garrison Wright, first-year transfer from Butler Community College, spent a couple years there. And on his first trip to Happy Valley. First time these two teams have met here since 2009, as that penalty backs up the Gophers to the 18, first and goal. Rodney Smith trying to bounce it outside, no luck. 5 blue shirts there to bring him down to the turf. Led by Marcus Allen.
That was good job by Penn State's defense. And they were tight to the line of scrimmage now. They were daring Minnesota to throw the ball there. They're all up in there. Just a little zone play. And Rodney Smith's trying to get to the outside, but that's what you like. You like that gang tackling right there, Brandon. That's how you play defense. Get everybody to the football.
And after all the open field tackles missed for Penn State, just like to see any gang tackling here indeed in week 5. And that one is thrown behind the intended receiver, again going for Brian Smith, but Mitch Leidner threw it in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Leidner waited a little bit too long. He needed to time that out a little bit better. Just slow to throw that football, and he threw it behind Brian Smith. A little quicker on the play action, get the ball up, and he had a completion.
And remember, even though it's not raining right now, the ground has to be somewhat wet from all the rain this morning.
Yeah, and your third and goal here, you got to be careful as a quarterback. Don't want to take a sack or force anything.
Third and goal from back deep, and Leidner wants to take off. He trips. Tried to use his feet. There might have been a little space there, but he couldn't keep
down.
up.
Part of the ball coming out, 4th down.
And I think he tripped over Garrison Wright, the left tackle. There it is right there. He tripped. But that's a smart play call because you don't want to force anything. Try to play for your field goal, get 3 points out of it.
This will be a 37-yarder for Emmett Carpenter. Former walk-on, first year as a starter, 5 for 5 in the field goal department. 6 of 6. Right down Broadway in Minnesota. Strikes first in Happy Valley.
That was a good drive, engineered by Mitch Leidner on a skate from the pocket, hitting Brian Smith as Brian Smith broke his route off to keep that drive going to get 3 points. And when you're on the road, you want to score early, and Minnesota's accomplished that. And you want to get your 3 points because going for 3 early means you don't have to go for 7 points late.
Just under a minute left here in the first quarter. 3-0 now Minnesota with the lead in James Franklin. And the Nittany Lions will try to work from behind. Time for our Jimmy John scoring drive. 10 plays, 58 yards, and 4:08 went off the clock, ending in that field goal from Emmett Carpenter.
Yeah, there was a lot of Mitch Leidner and Brian Smith with a couple of great catches, and of course Rodney Smith, and then mixing in Shannon Brooks as well. So they've spread the ball out pretty well, evenly across their offense.
Minnesota is now 15 for 15 this year when getting inside the red zone. They had scored 13 touchdowns, now 2 field goals. As this kickoff goes over toward the corner, returning it, Nick Scott. He's got a little seam. Could not break that last tackle on the outside from Antoine Winfield. Had he been able to get past him, he might have gone to the house.
He had one man to beat. Couldn't shake him. And I know that this Minnesota Gopher special team here is really good. So these are good blocks here. Double teams at the point of attack. If he just stayed up inside, he might have had more yardage. Good return.
Also need to give some credit there to Demarius Travis, number 7, helping out Winfield on that tackle. As Trace McSorley, the redshirt sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia, comes back out. So far, McSorley 5 of 11 for 29 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He's going to move up in the pocket. Deep, high-arcing ball, and he's got his man, DeAndre Tompkins. Happy 21st birthday, DeAndre Tompkins.
That was a great play by Trace McSorley because he had pressure. He moved around in the pocket, escaped it, and made a great play to Tompkins on the sideline on a little out and up. That was all Trace McSorley. buying some time to get to his receiver.
53 yards on the reception. He has been targeted early in this one. Now they go back to Barkley. Up the middle for a good gain of 8.
Yep, here's the play. Slow play action. Steps up and out. Keeps his eyes down the field. And finds Tompkins. That's hard to do as a quarterback.
Talked a lot pregame about Deshaun Hamilton and Chris Godwin as we are going to get to the end of the first quarter. Two very talented wideouts, but Tompkins, he showed up early in the first quarter. However, the only points belong to Minnesota on a field goal by Emmett Carpenter. And it is 3-0. It's the 14th all-time meeting between Minnesota and Penn State in Happy Valley. We'll be back on BTN in just a moment. Lions down 3-0 as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. And Penn State getting closer to the 10, getting closer to knocking on the door here.
Usually in this down and distance, it's a run down, especially in the red zone.
2nd and 2. Last play of the first quarter was an 8-yard gain by Barkley. And they go back to that man, Barkley. Missed first tackle, but then Minnesota rallies for the football. Richardson in there, as well as Jack Lynn, the linebacker. 126 yards in the first quarter for Penn State.
Well, here's the big plays for Penn State. And Minnesota's given up too many last time against Colorado State. Here's the big play to Gesicki for the 4th down conversion. And then McSorley kept his eyes down the field, made a big play to Tompkins. And as I mentioned, Minnesota gave up what? They gave up 15 plays at 10 yards or more against Colorado State. So that's been their Achilles heel of giving up the big play. You saw 3 of them there by Penn State already.
5 members of the officiating crew getting together on this penalty.
Offside. Defense, number 13. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Well, that one's on the linebacker, Jonathan Celestine.
Yeah, sometimes they put him on a blitz. There, yep. There he is jumping. He's on an A-gap blitz, and I don't know why they jump from there, Brandon, because that's where you can hear the center. Okay, you're right there. I don't know why they jump right inside there.
He's former Big Ten great Chuck Long. I'm Brandon Gaudin. That penalty gives Penn State a 1st and goal.
The ball's right in front of him.
Barkley churning the legs, getting down inside the 7. Duke McGee wrangling him to the ground.
Just a couple of inside zone schemes that they're running here. This little inside zone, and nice job by McGee. Well, he's hit Barkley twice for no gain. Powerful tackling.
So now 2nd and goal. Minnesota got the field goal. Now Penn State looking for their first points. Trace McSorley, the quarterback, sat behind Christian Hackenberg last year. Of course, Hackenberg now in the NFL, but this time on the ground again with Barkley, fighting down inside the 5, and it'll be 3rd down.
Just playing it safe right now. Again, another zone play. 3 straight zone plays in a row. It might be where they're playing. This is 4-down territory where they won't kick it and go for it on 4th down. That's why they ran it there.
3rd and goal. Penn State has struggled this year on 3rd downs, just 24%, 2nd worst in FBS football.
Minnesota showing zone pass defense.
McSorley tries to take off, dives, and did not get in. He got close, but Galen Elmore denying him of the goal line.
Big call for James Franklin. Looks like he's going for 3.
And the boos are raining down. McSorley just could not get there.
Good job of McSorley trying to keep that alive on a scramble, trying to score. A good stop by Minnesota.
Tyler Davis Trying to tie Luke Strebel of Air Force with 15 consecutive field goals made. And this is a chippy. Barely got the snap off. It is good. He has made 15 straight as Tyler Davis, and we are even at 3 apiece. James Franklin in a battle against Minnesota. In the Big Ten, that's easy. We do. BTN Tailgate brings the show to your school with complete pregame coverage, all the local flair. Next week, Dave Remsen, Jerry DiNardo, and Spice Adams get you ready for the entire day of football live from Columbus. Coverage begins next Saturday at 10:30 Eastern on BTN and streaming live on BTN To Go and is presented by Slim Jim. James Franklin, the decision, instead of going for 6, he went for 3. Why do you think so?
I thought it was a good decision. Everybody's, hey, we have Saquon Barkley. We should get it in. No, they have 2 freshman guards up there. Their offensive line isn't exactly blowing Minnesota off the ball, especially in tight yard situations. I thought it was a good decision to get to 3, especially early in the game.
Joey Julius to kick it away. That one's going to go 3 yards deep, and Myrick will try to return it. And it's going to turn out as if he would have taken a knee anyway, out near the 25. Well, we have a chance. Let's go back to Chicago and Rick Pizzo.
Brandon, Michigan has taken the first lead in Ann Arbor. Khalid Hill, 1-yard touchdown run. Wolverines over the Badgers, 7-0.
Wisconsin trying to beat their 3rd top 10 team in that game. They've already defeated LSU and Michigan State as they tangle today with Michigan. Here, Penn State trying to avoid going to 2 and 3. Julius, we highlighted him in the pregame. The kicker's a monster. He wants to get in a fight. He's all over everybody.
He's going to be battling all game long.
He has 2 big tackles on the season. He was looking for a 3rd. And now shifting around, Shannon Brooks to the right side. He'll have a first down and a little extra. Started out left, Brooks brought it back right.
That was all Shannon Brooks. There was nowhere to go. It was a slant play to the left-hand side of the line of scrimmage. Penn State had it all bottled up, but there's no defensive end over here. Shannon Brooks, with his great vision, saw that, made the cut back, got a big gain out of it. Defensively, you have to stay at home for the cutback play.
18 yards there. The team's pretty much even. Minnesota 121 yards of offense. Penn State 135, and this time Leidner just has to get rid of it.
Penn State's showing some pressure again with Morris Brown. Little play fake. Morris Brown with the pressure. Good job by Leidner throwing away. That's a senior quarterback. No one is down the distance. No situation. No time on the clock. Mitch Leidner's as good as there is in the country.
Good job by Brown. Also 41 Parker Cothran got in there to disrupt Leidner. This time they keep the pocket clean and complete it up the seam for a first down to Brian Smith. So all the talk about Drew Wolodarski, but Brian Smith has been doing a nice job out wide.
How about Brian Smith on a little skinny post route? Good fake by Leidner through a little high, and Brian Smith gets up and gets the ball. And as you said, Brandon, it's nice to see another receiver get in the action besides Wolodarski. Here's the throw, a little high. Good high point catch. Strong to the catch point.
3 of 5 completions for Mitch Leidner have gone to Brian Smith. Speaking of Smith, how about Rodney Smith? No relation. He's going to pick up 11 and another Minnesota first down.
Minnesota has been good all year about answering after the other team scores. And here they are on a nice drive after the score by Penn State. Just a little up-the-middle zone play. Rodney Smith picking his way. Nice job up front opening that hole for Rodney.
Defensive coordinator Brent Pry, 3rd year. And he said, as you said earlier, Chuck, he's just trying to get his guys with all the injuries to water things down. They don't want to be too complicated.
And they are playing simply. They're basically, their alignments have been really good so far.
But Minnesota had been moving the football until right there. That's a 1-yard loss. Nice job by Sharif Miller, the DN, and also Koa Farmer coming up to make the stop. There's Sharif Miller, 6'5", redshirt freshman from Philly.
And you mentioned Cole Farmer, who was a defensive back, was a safety. He had to move at linebacker with all the injuries. It's hard to go from one position to another. Good call by Brent Pride, defensive coordinator, showing some blitz off the edge to disrupt that play.
Well, to further illustrate, last week with the linebackers, they had Brandon Smith go out with an injury, brought in a fourth-string linebacker, Jan Johnson. He tore his ACL as Rodney Smith stretches it out to the right side. But when your fourth-string linebacker is coming in and then tearing his ACL, which was just so tragic, it's, you know, you're in some tough dire straits.
You are, and as a head coach, you go, hey, what's next? What's going to happen next? I've been in those situations on staffs. It's tough. Trying to find guys that can fit and play. So far, so good, I think, for Penn State, though. Their alignments are really good, and they're playing hard.
3rd down and 8. Wolotarski went in motion, and that one is incomplete. Is there a flag? No. They say the coverage was clean. And a nice job defensively by Penn State and Jordan Smith, the senior corner.
Jordan Smith, this is like a curl stop route here. Trying to get to the curl route, and Jordan Smith would denied that curl to happen. That was nice coverage. He got his head back and hit the ball down. Good pass broken up by Jordan Smith.
Listed as a 3rd stringer. They've had some injuries at corner, so the senior Jordan Smith getting an opportunity, making a nice play. To punt it away, Ryan Santoso. He's just trying to pin him deep, end over end. And they cannot keep it out of the end zone. It will be a touchback. A diving effort there by Blake Cashman, but he could not keep it out of the end zone. So Penn State will bring it out. We are tied at 3. Next Saturday on BTN and BTN to go. So Penn State next weekend. Penn State right now as they host Minnesota. 3-3 our score. 9 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, as the Nittany Lions take over at their own 20. Offense at a premium right now. These two teams have struggled to get things going. See if McSorley can change that. Flips it out, and he's got it complete. On the right side. While we have a moment, let's toss it back to Chicago and Rick Pizzo for an update.
Brandon, Maryland has scored its 14th touchdown in 15 red zone trips this season. Ty Johnson from 8 yards out. It's 22-0 Terps.
So the Terps in control there, and here a 2nd and 7 for the Nittany Lions after a 3-yard gain on the pass to Gesicki. Saquon Barkley out to the right side with a stiff arm, and a 1st down gain for Saquon Barkley.
And that was a great stiff arm and extra effort by Barkley. There's the speed and power of Barkley. And he is so dangerous when he gets to the outside. Here it is, just a little inside zone again. Look at the stiff arm on Wyrick, who's a good tackler.
And he's hobbling a little bit as Barkley. We saw him earlier on a play down near the goal line hobble a little bit after being tackled. Certainly have to keep an eye on that. They bring in Andre Robinson, but this is a deep pass play. Looking for Hamilton, but nowhere near. Defended by Antoine Winfield.
The offensive coordinator, Joe Moorhead, told us he needed to get the ball down the field more in this football game, and they've had some shots. I think McSorley should have thrown that ball a little bit more outside to give Tompkins a chance at that football.
Speaking of Coach Moorhead, we asked him, what's the biggest difference going from Fordham to here? He was the head coach at Fordham. He said, well, you go from about 10,000 fans to 100,000. That's a pretty big difference. This time a little shovel underneath to Robinson. So first time anybody besides Barkley out of the backfield has gotten action, but a nice tackle by Jack Lynn, the linebacker.
It's good to see Jack Lynn show up. He's the leader of that defense, and shovel plays are really good deception plays, and Jack Lynn sniffed that one out. He's played a lot of football, but he is the leader on that defense and one of their captains.
3-year starter and a redshirt senior. And As you said, one of the captains for this Minnesota D, 3rd and 8, as that defense looks for another stop. McSorley takes off, and he's pushed out shy of the first down yardage to gain. And now both of these teams, Chuck, combined 0 of 10 on 3rd downs.
And Minnesota's been great on 3rd down all year long until now. They just flushed McSorley. Penn State. Here's McSorley flushed out and nowhere to go. He couldn't set his feet to throw the ball. And he did a nice job and very wise just to get what you can get and help the punter out.
Now Blake Gilligan, just the 3rd true freshman punter in a Penn State uniform since 1996. And this is returnable for Myrick as he'll get it out across the 35. 6:47 left, second quarter, all even in Pennsylvania. Minnesota trying to get to 4-0. They are tied at 3 right now with Penn State in Happy Valley. United States Marine Corps leader of the game. Penn State's Brandon Smith, kinesiology major, pretty darn good GPA. Wants to become a pediatric oncologist. Works with the Honduran Souls with his wife, Andrea. They both do that, providing shoes for children. In fact, in 2015, instead of going on spring break, he and Andrea, they spent their spring break in Honduras building a soccer field. So I would say that is quite a leader.
Quite a leader, remarkable story. He's had a good game so far.
First play of this drive is a pitch out to the left side to Tyler Johnson, the freshman from Minneapolis. And it's a 9-yard gain.
And Tyler Johnson was their leading receiver coming in this game. Good job by Mitch Leidner. The play action fake, he has to flip his hips all the way around and make a throw to his left for a right-handed quarterback. That's a tough throw, and he threw it with some nice accuracy. You see the talent and ability that he has.
Kobe McCreary, his first carry of the game. Across the 50, it's a nice first carry. Into Penn State territory and down to the 40 before he's wrangled down by Troy Apke.
Well, don't forget about McCreary. He's only averaging over 8 yards a carry. Here he is on a little fold scheme or power scheme right up the middle. You see how strong and powerful he is. But we haven't mentioned him all game, but he's 8 yards a carry.
Yeah, you have Smith and Brooks. Now McCreary, now over 200 yards this season, but 176 of those came in one game against Indiana State. So outside of that game against the Sycamores, limited action, he will get a second carry here for 2.
And they're giving Rodney Smith a little break here in this series. Trying to get McCreary hot. And they will go with the hot hand. They don't have a pitch count, or they say, all right, this back's going to get this many carries, this back's going to get this many. They just put them in there, and if they're hot, they'll stay in there.
We mentioned that Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator for Penn State, is a first-year guy, as is Jay Johnson, the first-year OC for Minnesota. Spent the previous 5 years at Louisiana in the same role. Out of the backfield, it's Smith. Pushed out amongst his teammates on the near sideline, just shy of the 30.
And you mentioned offensive coordinator Jay Johnson. I love the way he's using Smith in the run game and in the pass game. Look at the hands here. Just a little, look at the hands getting up, twisting his body around.
Well, Smith was a great middle infielder in high school as a baseball player as well. They know that he has the hands.
Here are the 3rd downs that Minnesota likes. This is where they're really good.
Still searching for that first 3rd down conversion in this game. He needed to get to the 30, and they're coming in right near the marker. It's going to be close.
Good push by Penn State's defensive line on a 3rd and short.
And they're short. So these two teams now 0 of 11 on 3rd downs.
And number 77, Tyler McCure, just the center, need to stay on his feet.
Minnesota keeping the offense out there. 4th and less than a yard. Shannon Brooks standing behind the quarterback, Leidner. The give is to Brooks, and with that second surge, he got it.
Great second effort by Shannon Brooks, because Penn State bottled that up. There's all Shannon Brooks there. The line, the Minnesota line's too high. They need to get lower on these fourth and ones. Look at the push. Look at the drive by Brooks.
Using all 210 pounds as the Atlanta, Georgia native.
Power back.
He led Minnesota in rushing as a true freshman last year. And now they're going to the air. And a flag comes out. Brian Smith was interfered with. It was Grant Haley on the coverage, and he got tangled with Smith.
Yeah, Grant Haley was all over Smith. That was an easy call to make. Trying a little fade route.
Pass interference. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
There he is. Just a little fade route to the outside. Oh, and I can hear what the crowd was saying there. Yeah, that could have gone either way.
Instead, it goes against Haley, who's just trying to return from an injury. Was in a limited role last week. Now he's back full-time.
He actually turned to look for the ball, and he was in good position.
But instead, the penalty against him, 1st and 10 Minnesota. And a red zone opportunity where they've been so good this year. Up the middle, Rodney Smith. Not much there.
Good job, again, by the Penn State front seven. There's the replay, just a little, again. Yeah, Colton Beebe trying to lead the way. He's 270 pounds and couldn't move that defensive line of Penn State.
That's Curtis Cawthron, the redshirt junior from Newton, Pennsylvania. He's back, first time he's played this year. And getting some action and making a nice stop. And Penn State, if there's one thing they want to hear, is getting players back on defense. They are happy to have Cawthron in the fold. 2nd down. Leidner right side completes it. And getting down near the 10, Drew Wolodarski, his first or second catch of the game. Going to bring up 3rd down.
A little crossing route for Wolodarski. Not sure where the linebackers were on that play. If they got lined up quick enough. Got a lot of space in there. They were coming on a blitz, and Leidner felt it, got rid of the football.
So here we go, Minnesota. 0 of 5 on 3rd downs, but 56% coming into this game on conversions on 3rd. Penn State rushes 5, throw over the middle, complete. And the last gasp gets him in. Drew Wolodarski, 3rd touchdown of the season.
When in doubt, go to your go-to receiver. Exactly what Mitch Leidner did. Found his man, Wolodarski, in the middle of that zone defense. Here it is. Just a couple of crossing routes, and Wolodarski sits it down right in the zone. Nice pitch and catch for a big touchdown.
Mentioned his 3rd of the season, 6th of the career for the senior. Really came on last year when he had 3 touchdowns, and now he's already evened that total in 2016. PAT up and good for Carpenter. 3 catches for Wolodarski. And that puts Minnesota up 10-3 with 2:06 left in the half.
You see some crossing routes coming over here. Trying to clear out the defense. Linebackers get mixed up in there, and there's Wolodarski. Just a little crossing route. He's trying to find the zone, which he did. Good sit down in the zone. It really wasn't that bad of coverage. But Wolodarski's a veteran receiver, knows where to find the soft spot in the zone. Leidner found him, threw it on time. Good execution.
33rd career passing touchdown for Mitch Leidner. And Wolodarski, who I said really came on last year, now having a great 2016.
Those crossing routes by teams can really confuse linebackers and DBs. That's why teams use them, especially down in the red zone where they're very effective.
Evan Carpenter kicks it away. No chance here for Nick Scott. He'll go down to a knee. So we'll see how Penn State responds after Minnesota gets the first touchdown of the game. They'll have a little over 2 minutes left, and then we'll have halftime. It's stick around for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report with Rick, Stanley, and Howard. That is coming up in 2:06 on the game clock. Okay, 2:06 for Penn State, 2 timeouts, and we'll see what they can do. And offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead, what he has drawn up.
Plenty of time. You could actually mix in some run game here. You have plenty of time with timeouts. You don't have to throw it every time in a 2-minute drill here. Mix in some run as well.
Oh, the snap goes through the hands of McSorley, and he just turns around and flings it. Pretty incredible job just to get it in the area of Chris Godwin and avoid grounding.
Intentional grounding, number 12 was in the area, 2nd down.
That was a great play by McSorley. High snap, has the poise, and knew where his receiver was just to throw it in that direction. So one intentional grounding, that was a great play.
And while it did rain this morning, it has not rained, knock on wood, since this game started, but the ground's still somewhat damp. Maybe that causing McSorley not to be able to hang on to it. Now he's just going to use his legs. He's got a little room. A first down before he steps out near the 40.
And the play before allowed him to get the first down now because he threw the ball away. He went in a long yard situation. Here's just a drop back here, and he felt it. Nice decision. First down. But he has saved the last 2 plays. Heads up plays by Trace McSorley.
Won 3 state titles in high school. They say he's got a winner's mentality, does the redshirt sophomore. Back to the right arm. Deshaun Hamilton. He gets out of bounds over at the Penn State sideline.
It's a good little out route to Deshaun Hamilton, who I think has kind of struggled in that slot position all year, getting off of coverage, but they're starting to get him loosened up a little bit in the slot in this game. Had one early.
Officials timeout. Their game is changed.
And our chains are damaged. The chain gang having some trouble after Deshaun Hamilton ran over that way, so they're trying to get things fixed.
See what the rain can do to you. Wrecks everything. But that was a nice little out route. Here's the out route.
Let's see what happened here to these chains. That's what happened. Look at that. Look at that strength. He just snapped it in half. 205-pounder Deshaun Hamilton. Don't worry, they've got reserves over there. They've got reserves.
Again, plenty of time. There's second short. Could be a run here.
And it will be Barkley up the middle. Into Minnesota territory to the 49.
And they get the first down. And little inside zone. Good vision. Take it right up the middle. Get the first down.
Penn State this time is going to take a shot for Tompkins. No. They've done that a couple times trying to stretch things vertically. Not there.
Yeah, McSorley and Tompkins, they're just not in sync right now with that long ball. You hit a couple of those now, it's a different ball game. And they need to keep trying. The hardest thing for an offensive coordinator when you call him is to come back to it later. Let's see if Joe Moorhead comes back to that play because he has a chance to hit those.
Did you like taking that shot there, first down?
Absolutely. Take a shot, you get the first down, have Minnesota on their heels a little bit, take the shot. That was a good call.
Instead, 2nd and 10. Start watching the clock here. 1:35 left in the half. Barkley hit in the backfield, dances away. This is trouble. A big loss, tackled back near the 40.
Sometimes Saquon Barkley wants to make the big play all the time. The big hitter.
Second charge.
It's not there.
Penn State.
They just couldn't block Steven Richardson there.
Penn State had to take a timeout. They couldn't block Richardson. They also couldn't block Jonathan Celestine.
Right. And I know Barkley tries to do it all, but there you just have to go down. Now, this is where Penn State's not very good. 24% on third down coming in. And now they're way backed up on third down.
Well, Chuck, now you have to be careful, too, because Minnesota has all 3 timeouts. There's still almost 90 seconds remaining.
Right. This is a tough play call. You have to be careful because it's 3rd and forever. And you don't want to force the football. Minnesota's going to come out with a 34 defense that probably only rush 3 and drop 8 in coverage. So you have to be careful.
Even though they only have 3 points, 171 yards of offense, almost equaling the entire 4 quarters against Michigan last week for Penn State.
Yeah, and they have not been good in this department. Like I said, third down. Not a lot of confidence on this down right now for Penn State this year.
3rd and 18. What does Trace McSorley have up his sleeve here? Pressure coming again off his back foot. Just flings it away. And now Penn State will have to punt. Minnesota might have a chance with still 1:21 remaining and 3 timeouts.
Right, just had to throw it away. Here's Godwin at the top of your screen. I don't know if McSorley saw him, but all he had to do is throw that comeback route on the sideline where it's safe. And I think McSorley was looking another way down the middle of the field trying to get the first down.
Godwin and Hamilton, the 2 stud wide receivers in their career, combined over 3,200 yards. But in this game, they're under 20 combined. So those corners doing a nice job for Minnesota.
Let's see what Minnesota does here. And will they go 2-minute? I wouldn't call Minnesota's offense a great 2-minute offense. Let's see what Coach Clays decides to do here with the lead. You always want to go into the locker room at halftime with a lead if you have it.
Mitch Leidner, 9 of 17. Had the touchdown pass last drive to Wolitarsky, 107 yards.
So far, so good. Not real high percentage, but no interceptions. That's senior leadership from your quarterback position.
He's only thrown 1 interception all season so far, 5-to-1 ratio. This time they'll go to Rodney Smith. Flag comes in from the backside. Grant Haley with a nice tackle.
Probably in the holding area. And that flag comes out that fast, it's usually holding.
Correct, you are, Chuck Long. Dan Willard agrees. It is holding on the offense. Let's see who they got it on.
Holding. Offense, number 80. Penalized half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down. Penn State is elected to have the game clock start.
Yes, it's Wozniak. Yeah, had his right hand on the back of the jersey, and Nate Wozniak is the tallest skilled player in college football at 6'10", and he has to really get low to block people. He has to really bend those knees, and you see, if you don't, you're going to get caught with holding.
And they say he's not a roster 6'10", he's a legit 6'10", played basketball in high school in the Indianapolis area, but said football was his love. Unfortunately there, football got him a costly penalty. That time of year, face mask, it was a face mask. Flag comes in. Rodney Smith able to fight through it, and he's going to get some extra tacked onto this.
Right. Let's see what Minnesota's strategy is here now when they get the more yards off the penalty. Will they continue to run the ball or go into a 2-minute mode?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Just a little inside zone. Oh, there's the face mask right there.
Yeah, Cam Brown.
Yep, Cam Brown, and that was clear. Usually you don't keep running after face masks like that. That was a nice job by Smith breaking out of that.
That puts the ball up to 32. Still all 3 timeouts and 62 seconds left of the second quarter.
You have a senior quarterback now and veteran receiver, Wolitarsky. Let's see if they throw it now.
They are going to throw it. Instead of Wolitarsky, it's Brian Smith. But that's only going to result in 3 yards.
Not too big a hurry right now for Minnesota.
First charge. Timeout of the half. Minnesota. The 30-second timeout.
So now they have 2 timeouts left. Pre-game, we discussed Rodney Smith, Shannon Brooks, and those running backs, and how both would get into the action. And Mitch Leidner has been featuring both, especially Rodney Smith. 12 rushes, Brooks with 4, McCrary, the third back, with 2.
Well, they're getting some action. Obviously, Rodney Smith's their feature back, but they're also throwing the ball to Rodney Smith. I like the way Mitch Leitner's dealing the ball out evenly amongst his receivers and his running back, Rodney Smith. The best that I've seen this year already. It's all been Wolodarski up until now. Now you have Brian Smith in the action, and Rodney Smith gets the balls, too, out of the backfield in the pass game.
When we talked to Tracy Claeys, he said the reason he hired Jay Johnson, the offensive coordinator, he liked how he knew how to run it out of a one-back system. And they have been doing a lot of that.
Right, you have 2 timeouts now. You want to, when you get under 30 seconds, you need to call a timeout quick.
2nd and 6, there is Wolodarski. Second effort gets him near the first down marker, but right now they need to be concerned about that clock.
Need to hurry up now. Save the 2 timeouts if you can and get this ball snapped at 30. And then be ready to call timeout if you don't stop the clock.
They do snap it at 30. Wolodarski trying to get outside. He has the first down. Near midfield, he'll be stopped a little short of midfield around the 49.
Now they're working it well right now. Again, plenty of time. 26 seconds is plenty of time, especially with 2 timeouts.
Brent Pry imploring his Penn State defense for one more stop to keep this a 10-3 game. Leitner fires a fastball again. Wolodarski.
Call the timeout.
And now you're getting on the edge of field goal range. From right around here, it would be a 50-yarder.
Timeout of the half. Minnesota. 30 seconds in length.
Good clock management right now by Minnesota. You know, you have basically 3 plays left. I always figured 6 seconds per play. So you have 3 plays left. 1 you have to save for the field goal in case you need it. And you have 1 timeout, which is nice to have right now. I see team after team blowing all their timeouts, and they get in these situations, and then it becomes poor clock management as well. But Minnesota's really doing well with this 2-minute drill.
Trying to get a little closer for Emmett Carpenter. 45-yarder earlier this year, the longest for Carpenter. He's warming up and waiting for his opportunity. Still 1 timeout for the Gophers. Slipping through the hole to the 25 and a couple extra for Rodney Smith before he's brought down by Marcus Allen.
Oh, they're hurrying up. I'd call timeout there or he's going to spike it.
And Leitner spikes it indeed.
Yeah, they got the first down, so stop the clock.
So you have 11 seconds, 1 timeout.
Yep.
What do you take a shot here? What do you do?
Yeah, take a shot.
And how about Penn State defensively? If you're Coach Pry, how do you handle this?
Well, they're in field goal range, so just give them the 3, make them earn the 3, but don't play a little softer on your defense. But that was good clock management. They did get the first down, and you want to spike there, so that was the right call.
Minnesota 3-0, looking to get to 4-0, and right now just searching for a bigger cushion. They go on the ground conservative. And now they can burn that timeout and bring out Emmett Carpenter.
Yeah, that was a nice 2-minute drill by Minnesota. Used the clock well, used their timeouts well, had the good spike after the first down.
Timeout of the half. Minnesota. It's a full timeout.
And they executed on the drive. That was the poise and leadership of Mitch Leitner there.
That's why you like having a 5th-year senior at quarterback. You do have a first-year kicker at Emmett Carpenter, but he's been good. We'll see if Carpenter can add on 3 more when we get back. Perfect 15 of 15 for PATs. He hasn't missed this year as a redshirt sophomore. Let's see if that trend can continue. 35-yarder. Snap and hold good. Kick good as well. Well, you said a great 2-minute drive by Minnesota. Carpenter caps it off. They have to feel very good going into the lockers.
Absolutely. You always want to go into halftime with the lead. And not only that, but they got the 3 right at the end on a great 2-minute drill down the field.
They were trying to distract him. Those students, 21,000. But he kept him quiet.
And he knew it right away after he kicked it. But love the 2-minute drill, as you could tell. I'm an old quarterback. I like those kind of drills. But they use all the clock, too. I mean, that's what you want. Not only do you want a good 2-minute drill and score, but you want to use all the clock. So Penn State they only have 1 second left.
70 yards in just a minute and 11 seconds there on those 9 plays. And, for Penn State, there's 1 second left here, barring some electric return. They've got to be very disappointed. They've moved the ball a little bit, but only 3 points to show for it.
Yeah, and again, they're struggling on the crucial downs. I mentioned 3rd down for Penn State. They were not very good coming in. They're not good today. You have to keep drives alive by hitting those 3rd downs, and most of them have been behind the chains, meaning 3rd and longs. Tough play calling when you're in 3rd and long a lot. They have to do something about that at halftime. And that goes back to 1st down. Study your 1st down at halftime. See what you're doing.
And they'll just pooch it. They don't want to put it in the hands of Nick Scott. But Penn State will have to run 1 play with a tick still on the clock here.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take a knee here and just go in and regroup at halftime. It's situational football for Penn State that they're struggling in.
The ball then went to the ground. Well, 1 second comes off the clock. That is the end of the first half.
So Don Willard says the second will go off the clock by rule there because he did catch the ball before going down to the ground, and that ends the first half. Tracy Claeys and company, they've got a 13-3 lead. Battling for the Governor's Victory Bell in Happy Valley, Minnesota leads it by 10 over the Nittany Lions. Football on BTN is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Find your agent at AutoOwners.com. And by TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install smarter. TireRack.com. 13-3, Minnesota leading Penn State. We are getting closer to the start of quarter number 3. Before we get there, let's toss it down to the sidelines and Brian Tripp.
Brandon had an opportunity to speak with both coaches. For Penn State, head coach James Franklin wasn't happy with the first half. He said his team needs to be more physical. Minnesota is loading the box a lot on defense. Expect Penn State to try to stretch the field here in half number 2. On the flip side, Tracy Claeys is very happy here with their first road game of the year so far. He's very pleased with the way they're playing, with the exception of the big plays. He feels like if they can eliminate the big plays, Minnesota will come out of here with a victory today.
Well, they're looking good so far, up 10. Mitch Leidner and Trace McSorley in our Quicken Loans quarterback comparison.
Well, right now there is no comparison. Mitch Leidner is definitely the leader on the field today, and he's really had command and presence and made some great throws. And Trace McSorley needs to get Chris Godwin going in this second half. That combination needs to start happening and happening soon. Jalen Myrick, the corner for Minnesota, is really clamped down on Chris Godwin, but they have to find a way to get that McSorley-Godwin combination loose the second half to get that passing game going.
And they've also done a pretty good job at bottling up Saquon Barkley. 14 carries for 50 yards, but one of those was 23 yards. Chuck, outside of that, he hasn't done a whole lot.
Hasn't done a lot. As Brian mentioned on the field, that they're loading the box against Barkley, which means you have to throw the ball to the outside, and that's not happening either that much. So the passing game needs to set up the run game in the second half for Penn State.
They actually put Barkley back to return the kick. He is not normally the kick returner, but maybe they're just looking for a spark right now.
Just get a spark, put your best player back there. He's done it before.
Normally Nick Scott or Miles Sanders, but Barkley set to return the kick from Emmett Carpenter. Carpenter had a good first half. 2 field goals, including one to close the second quarter. But Barkley's not going to dare return this. He goes down to a knee on the P in Penn State.
As I mentioned, Brandon, let's see if they get McSorley to Godwin combination going the second half. And also Trace McSorley in the quarterback run game. He does do very well running the football. He's better than you think he is.
He's an athlete. He was actually recruited more as a safety because at 6 foot, some people were worried about his height, but Penn State gave him the opportunity to be a quarterback, and he's made the most of it. See how he starts this third quarter. A screen out wide. Getting it to Deshaun Hamilton. Well, if it's not Godwin, Hamilton is their other stud. They get him involved for a short gain, second down.
Get it to somebody, and Deshaun Hamilton, just a little screen pass or bubble screen to the outside. Now, Tompkins needs to block better than that. If DeAndre Tompkins has a better block, they have a better game.
Instead, it only went for 3. Takes a give to Barkley. Time out to the left. It's incomplete. The aforementioned Tompkins, who missed the block that time he missed the football.
Players have a hard time forgetting the last play, and that's exactly what happens to young players like DeAndre Tompkins. He knew he missed the block before. He let it bother him the next play, and he drops the pass. Young players happens all the time. That's coaches try to get young guys to grow up fast. How? Forget the last play and move on to the next.
Does have those 2 catches for 58 yards, and again, he's celebrating his 21st birthday, but he won't want to remember that one from his 21st. 3rd and 7. McSorley, we just talked about how he can run, but he's not going to get to the 35, and that's where he needed to be. Another Penn State 4th down.
I really didn't like that series of play calling by Joe Moorhead. 3 passes in a row when you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. You had a screen pass, you had a drop pass, and then you had a scramble off of a pass play. Not a good way to start when you have a stud running back in the backfield.
Well, we talked a lot last week, Chuck, you and I, about their line play against Michigan as a flag comes in here on the punt. And how Michigan really got to them quickly, and some of the plays were too long and drawn out. Is the O-line played a little bit better, though, for Penn State?
I think they've played better. Yes, I think they have played better, Brandon. They have protected better, especially their guards and center have formed a good pocket for Trace McSorley to step into his throws, which was not happening against Michigan. He couldn't step into anything against Michigan, but he's able to do that today.
Kicking team, more than 4 men lined up in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So instead of being at the 30, the football will be at the 35 for Minnesota and Mitch Leidner. Not a bad career for that Golden Goal for Mitch Leidner.
Well, look at 32 pass touchdowns and 26 rushing touchdowns. That's not even. I only had maybe 1.
Come on.
Or 2 rushing touchdowns.
Quarterback Chuck Long, that's all you had?
I just remember a bootleg,
that's all. How many passing touchdowns did you have? That's the question. And he throws it out to Nate Wozniak. That's that 6'10" tight end from Greenwood, Indiana. He'll get a couple.
6'10", that's a big target. There's a little bootleg here, a little play-action bootleg. Always a good play to start a half on. Easy completion. Always get your quarterback to complete the first pass of each half is what I try to do as a coach. Get your team started a little bit. Not a big game, but
6'10" and long hair out of the back of his helmet. A double threat guy is Nate Wozniak. He'll go to the ground. Shannon Brooks. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. And Kevin Givens made a nice stop there on Brooks.
Yeah, nice job by Givens, beating his man up front and making a nice tackle with the running back running away from him, wrapping it up low, tangling his feet up.
With Givens, he's a redshirt freshman. They told us in our meeting that they've actually put too much on his shoulders as a freshman. He's still undersized, but They like plays like that. 3rd down, the snap kind of surprised Leidner. Now he's going to take off. He's got a big gap, and he slides in safely for a first down at the 49.
And that is a smart veteran quarterback in the pocket. Nothing was happening downfield with his receivers. He didn't have any vision on him. Here comes the pressure. Felt the big hole to the left. Takes the slide to protect himself after he knew he had the first down.
And with those quarterback slides, keep in mind the ball and the play is stopped where he starts his slide, not where he hits the ground.
Not where he hits the ground. That's a good rule.
So that's why he's at the 49 and not across midfield. This time they pop it to Brooks coming across the front, and he'll get to the 49, the other 49, a 2-yard gain before he's brought down by Cameron Brown and Manny Bowen, a pair of linebackers.
And they like Cameron Brown. They think he has great upside, this coaching staff for Penn State. Why? Last game, he made a bunch of mistakes, and then he came off the sideline and knew what mistakes he made. Coaches love to hear that, especially with a young player. Great upside with this young man.
Yeah, he had 10 tackles last weekend against Colorado State, making the most of his opportunities as a young pup. This will bring up a 3rd down for Minnesota. And 3rd downs, we talked about it in the first half. They've been an issue, particularly for Penn State, 0 of 8. Minnesota was 0 of 5, but they've converted their last 3 3rd down tries.
And this is 3rd manageable. This is what Minnesota's offense is all about. Getting to 3rd manageable, 3rd medium here. This is where they've been good all year long.
There are the numbers. They're looking for their 4th 3rd down conversion. 11 minutes left in the 3rd.
Penn State showing man coverage.
Flag comes in. Incomplete.
Looked like the shift by Minnesota might have.
Yeah, that one is on Minnesota.
Looks like they were not set after the shift. You have to set for 1 whole second.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap did not reset. Result of the penalty decline. Result of play is 4th down.
Here they shift. You gotta go 1 second.
Of course, we were watching it in slow motion, but still pretty close. You're shaking your head up there in the booth.
It looked like Wozniak came over, he was kind of running in place, jogging in place, but I'm not sure why that was a penalty. I guess you have to stand still, because we used to say that on motion people.
Well, on 4th down, Ryan Santoso will punt. End over end, and it will bounce and go into the end zone. They tried to prevent it, but they could not. So Penn State down 10:46 on the clock in the 3rd. State gets the football back down 13-3, so their defense did a nice job getting the ball back. Now their offense, they need a little bit of a vitamin B12 shot.
Well, you see the possessions. You know, they had one 11-play drive, but the possessions have not been very good. Just the 1 field goal as you see there. They need a drive right now, and they have to mix in some run game, especially with this rain coming down.
Yeah, the rain had held off for most of the first half. It's like a heavy mist right now with a lot of low gray clouds here in Happy Valley. They try to mix in the rain game there, but not much for Saquon Barkley. It is just nasty.
I've done a few Penn State games and had a few like these. There's been some rain out here, and Penn State usually knows how to manage it, but right now they're struggling. They got to mix it up a little bit on offense right now. Get some tempo, change the flow of the game somehow, some way on offense.
It's been gray and rainy since we landed on Thursday. McSorley, that one must have slipped out of the hands wrong, trying to get it to Urban Charles.
Yeah, they're just out of sorts right now. They're way out of rhythm with their offense. They're not mixing it up with their formations at all. They had tempo early in the game, which I think can help you in your offense. And right now, everything's slow and methodical. And now they're in a 3rd and long, and they have not converted all day.
Now they're 0 for 8. So not in a good position to get that first conversion. Trace McSorley from the gun. Steps up, throws. Was he past the line? He throws to Charles, complete, and he breaks free. Urban Charles. Touchdown, Penn State.
And that's the play that Penn State needed in their offense, and it couldn't come at a better time on a 3rd and 11 to Irvin Charles, who has great upside for this team, can really run. There's some miscommunication in the back end of Minnesota to allow that to happen.
Well, how about that? 0 of 8 on 3rd downs. Maybe they hurt us. Put an exclamation mark on that first 3rd down conversion. 80 yards from Trace McSorley to Irvin Charles, the first touchdown of his career, and it's a big one.
Timeout.
After a long touchdown pass to Irvin Charles, it's now 13-10. But boy, Trace McSorley was close to the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Yeah, you see the ball. You see the ball right here on the 19-yard line, and let's see what happens. McSorley, he scrambles up in the pocket, and look, he's right behind the line. That's perfect awareness by your quarterback. Makes a big play to Charles. They missed the tackle down the field. These are the type of plays that can spark a football team, and is exactly what Penn State needed. After struggling coming out in the second half, hit a big 3rd and 11. Great awareness by McSorley in the pocket.
First touchdown of Irvin Charles' career. Goes for 80 yards and gets Penn State right back in this thing. Myrick takes it. Jalen Myrick on the kicker. Julius tried to make the tackle, but he whiffed. He made 2 explosive tackles so far earlier this year, but he missed there.
He did get a piece of him, though. It wasn't clean, but did get a piece of him. He loves the play, doesn't he? There he is. Joey Julius makes the kick. Looking around for guys to block him. They don't want to block him anymore.
So much for staying back as the kicker. He sprints up there as fast as he can sprint. By the way, he was a soccer player in high school. Can you imagine him out on the soccer pitch? As there's a hard hit on the outside. Boy, Happy Valley has really come to life. Marcus Allen with a nice tackle.
We had the long touchdown, and now you had Julius coming down, getting a hit. People are excited in the crowd. Let's see if this Penn State football team feeds off of that. Nice first stop here by the defense to make a 2nd long.
Second half yards. Now a lot of those on that one pass to Charles, but Penn State picking it up. 2nd and 9 for Mitch Leidner. Swings it out left side to Rodney Smith. No, sir, says Manny Bowen.
Excellent open field tackle by Manny Bowen. He's your outside linebacker, and they like him out there. He plays the inside against Michigan. Wasn't as comfortable. Now they've kept him outside. Here's a little swing pass to Smith. Good tackle, low tackle. That's how you have to tackle now in college football. You can't go high anymore with the new rules, so you have to stay low. They've tackled well in the open field.
They're telling them to get on their feet, and they are standing at Beaver Stadium. And it's batted away. Jordan Smith there defensively.
Nice play by Jordan Smith on the outside. Actually, Mitch Leidner underthrew the football. If he would have thrown that ball on time to Smith to the outside, might have had a completion. Underthrew it. George Smith made a nice play, broke it up.
He's getting some action time with some injuries in the secondary. Nice job.
Yeah, just underthrew the ball a little bit. Mitch Leidner did. Hey, it might be wet right now on that football. Hard to get a grip on it. Good defensive stand by Penn State. Let's see if they do something with it.
Going to be kick-catch interference, no doubt. Just a mental blunder there by Thomas Barber, coming up and making the contact with a returner, Reed.
That happens a lot on short kicks, on short punts. You don't know where the ball is.
And that was Duke McGee, not Barber. Barber was in the area, but number 8, Duke McGee, I think, was the one to make the contact.
Interference with the opportunity to catch a kick. Kicking team number 8. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
So things starting to go the way of Penn State. Down 3, and they've got the football back. This week on a new episode of BTN's new original series, Sports Light with Mike Hall, we visit with Maryland grad Norman Chad, and we take to the streets of New York to find the best halftime speeches according to Big Ten fans. Plus, some fun moments of Mike visiting with Big Ten student athletes and coaches. All this on a new Sports Light with Mike Hall Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Penn State got the electric touchdown score. Now they got the stop defensively and the ball back.
And they have field position. You want to take advantage when you have it. It's been hard to come by.
Start this one from inside the 45. Play action. They're going for the home run ball. And it is caught inside the 10 by Chris Godwin.
And there's the combination I've been waiting for all game. The McSorley, the Godwin combo off the play action to Barkley. Nice throw to the post, and you always want to throw it inside the hash.
But then Barkley on the ensuing play is swallowed up in the backfield. Jonathan Celestine got back there in a hurry.
Tried to go to a fast-paced inside zone play. Minnesota was all over, but that was a beautiful post throw. Right inside the hash is where you want to lead those. Nice throw by McSorley to Godwin. That combination needs to heat up here in the second half as the game goes.
You mentioned it several times. That was just Godwin's second catch. He now has 45 yards. Second goal, pressure coming. And over the head on the right side of Andre Robinson.
Tried a little wheel route to Andre Robinson out of the backfield. And McSorley had to rush his throw a little bit. Needed a little bit more air on that throw to the back pylon instead of the front pylon. He might have had a chance.
Penn State got all the way down here. A backwards play, then pressure and a bad pass. Now it's 3rd and goal. Right around the 10. Trace McSorley throws and it is incomplete. Crowd was booing. They thought there was interference over there on Godwin, but the pressure was brought by Julian Huff, who was dragging down Trace McSorley.
I'm not sure that was a catchable ball. That was a great play by McSorley, just getting the ball off and avoiding the sack, which you don't want to do in the red zone. Let's see where the ball lands here. He slipped down there anyway, but that was a great play by McSorley with pressure. You don't want to take a sack in the red zone. Give your field goal kicker a chance. McSorley's just making some plays and getting out of trouble.
27-yarder for Tyler Davis, the redshirt junior. This would tie him. And he does sneak it inside the right upright. And with that field goal, not only does he tie the game, he sets a Penn State record by making 16 consecutive field goals. And although it's raining, these fans have something to cheer about at Penn State. Back at Beaver Stadium, Penn State has scored 10 unanswered. And now we're all even, 13 apiece. 7:28 remaining in the third as Joey Julius tees it up.
Well, Minnesota needs a drive here. Because Penn State has all the momentum in this football game right now. Let's see what the veteran quarterback and Mitch Leitner see if we can put a drive together. But we have Joey Julius show right now. Let's see if they block him.
See the numbers on the Jimmy John scoring drive. 5 plays, 33 yards that last time on the field goal. Well, Myrick won't give Julius a chance to make the tackle. I wouldn't want to run into him anywhere, on or off the field.
Guys on the sideline say, "Hey, coach, I don't want to block him." What about you? You want to block? You want to block him? No, I don't want to block him.
So back out goes the experienced senior Mitch Leitner as Julius makes his way to the Penn State sideline.
Yeah, he's a kicking in field of play so he can make a play. He's kicking it too deep.
Mitch Leitner, so experienced, 33rd career start. 5th in passing yards, 4th in rushing touchdowns. He is all over the career leaderboards. Now can he put Minnesota back in front in a hostile environment? Off play action. Tried it for Walnikarski, but incomplete.
Oh, he had him too. He had a nice little corner out to Wolatarski. And he just put too much air on it. Again, oh, nice job of laying. Oh, had the chance to catch the ball. Laid out for the ball. Just overthrew it a little bit. Wolotarski could not bring it in. He needs to flatten that ball off a little bit more to the sideline instead of up the field with a little bit more air.
Wolotarski, 6 catches for 53 yards. That would have been his biggest one. He did have the touchdown grab earlier. And Shannon Brooks, 3 yards on the ground, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Trying to get to a 3rd and manageable situation with the run off the 2nd long has been the Minnesota formula. Try to get in the medium yardage or a little outside of that medium yardage. I would call this a 3rd and long for Minnesota. The Gophers 3 of 10 on 3rd down tries in this game. Once again, the Penn State bench saying, get up to Beaver Stadium. It's still Shannon Brooks in the backfield. This is a pistol look. They sent Eric Carter, the receiver, in motion left. Trying to get it to Wolotarski. Flag comes in. But that was thrown from behind the play back near the line of scrimmage. Minnesota dropped 8 in coverage, only rushed 3. Really good coverage, and the linebackers were in perfect position. We might be getting a late hit here on the quarterback, Leidner.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer with targeting. Defense number 52. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down, plays under review. Curtis Cawthron, his first game of the season, hadn't participated in the first 4, and we get another look.
There's Cawthron. Not sure where the helmet, see from this angle here, coming around the edge on your right-hand side. Ooh. Put his helmet right on the face mask, it looked like. Here it is right here. He hit a lot of shoulder pad there.
Well,
did the crown of his helmet get up on the chin?
As they will, they review all these targeting plays, but they are being extra careful with these this year. In any gray area, they will go the way of targeting. That one may be too close for Cawthron to be able to stay out there. Referee Don Willard getting a look. While Don Willard takes a look at it, let's bring in our rules analyst back in the studio, Dick Honig. And Dick, what did you think?
Well, I'll tell you, it's really close. Brandon, you and Chuck probably hit it right on the head. Is that it's really close, and a tendency is to stay with these calls. I don't think it's clear that it isn't targeting. So, in those cases, they generally stay with with what was called on the field. It is close. He gets him low in the chest, but does his helmet come up into the neck area, and that's what they have to decide.
Well, Don Willard took an extra long look at it, and we're about to hear from him.
After review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 52 is disqualified. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And the boos rain down in Happy Valley. Cawthron, again, his first game of the year, and he's gone.
Well, Dick called it. He said they usually stay with it. It's not real clear. You see the head go up into the neck and chin area.
And an unhappy James Franklin, as if he couldn't lose any more guys on defense.
He's had a couple of those in a row. Had one last week in Michigan.
So now 1st and 10, and Leidner will keep. And he'll slide forward down around the 48.
There's your run game out for Mitch Leidner off the run option. Read the defensive end. He collapsed on the running back, and he kept it right around the left-hand side. Haven't seen a lot of those today. Thought we'd seen more out of Mitch in the quarterback run game, but they're protecting him pretty well all day long.
Kobe McCreary with his 3rd carry. Across the 50 before he's tackled by Evan Schwann, the DN.
Just power football, pulling the guard, trying to get angle blocks for your offensive line to get leverage and an advantage on the defensive line. Right up the gut football for Minnesota. They're a traditional-looking football team. You don't see too many of these teams like this anymore.
Their first road game of the season. They got up 13-3. Penn State has scored the last 10. Now here's a big third down for the Gophers. Not going to get anywhere close. Stuffed. Several blue jerseys in there, including the free safety Marcus Allen coming up for extra help.
Great call by defensive coordinator Brent Pry. He sold the farm. He had everybody up in there. There's nobody back there. All 11 were on the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. There's not enough blockers. That was a third and medium. I'm surprised they ran the ball there instead of throwing it, especially with Mitch Leidner. Penn State took a chance. Great call by Brent Pry, the defensive coordinator.
John Reed back deep to return the punt of Ryan Santoso. And Reed will have a chance at it. Tries to slip through the defenders, but he cannot. Penn State, they've got off to a hot start here in the second half.
Well, but Sorley got hot. Found Irvin Charles on a big play. The big 6'4" receiver broke the tackle. Here's finally Chris Godwin on a play, on a post route. It's really been all McSorley to be able to tie this football game right now.
Tyler Davis with a field goal that did tie it at 13 apiece. So now 4:33 left in the third. McSorley comes back out. Not the best percentage ratio there, but he's done his job.
Sometimes it takes one play to get you going, just one little spark. And they got it with a big touchdown pass. And that just can uplift your whole football team, which it has right now for Penn State.
They go with Saquon Barkley, patiently looking for room, but he finds none. And that was a big point of emphasis with Barkley, they said this week, having him not try to break every run for 80 yards.
Right, and that's hard to do because he has not had a lot of yards up the middle. So when he sees the hole, he's not hitting it when he should because he's trying to make a big play every play. But that's hard to do when you don't have a lot of room to run and you're trying to make a play, is to stay patient. And that's what they want him to do, but it's easier said than done.
16 carries, 47 yards for Barkley. One of those went for 23. Off play action. A deep ball. And a flag comes in. That's going to be interference. They tried Irvin Charles, who had the touchdown catch earlier. Antonio Chenault defending, and I believe the penalty is going to be on him.
Coach Joe Moorhead said we need to catch some of those 50-50 balls up in the air.
Pass interference. Defense, number 34. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Or get the pass interference, which is what they did here. Just throwing up the fade route. Chenault's in good position. He needs to look back for the ball, which he tried to do. And he got a little bump there. I don't know how much better you can cover that. That was good coverage, and he had leverage. And he did look back.
Chenault looked surprised at the call, and after seeing the replay, oh, interesting. Now the fake throw, and McSorley, nice little juke. Kept the defender frozen, and he takes off to pick up the first down.
There's your run option, quarterback run game. Reese defensive end. He collapses on the running back. Nice job. Tucking the ball and get down. No, there was no target there.
Andre Robinson now in the backfield alongside McSorley.
Nice decision by McSorley. Taking this game over.
Another chance here. That time he throws it wide. He's trying to get it to Mike Gesicki, the tight end.
Just a little stop route. Gesicki just went 5 yards, turned around like a little hook route, and just sorely missed through it. Surprised how he threw that. He's been on the money this half.
Gesicki's been targeted 4 times, 3 catches, but just 12 yards. Off to see McSorley do going back up to the line and then returning to the shotgun. 2nd and 10. Stepping up. Oh, he's got Gesicki. Tackled at the 5 from behind by Jalen Myrick. How did Mike Gesicki get behind the coverage, Chuck?
Not sure what Jalen Myrick did there. He had him in coverage, and then he just fell off of him. And Gesicki was wide open. Great vision by McSorley, scrambling to his right a little bit. Watch him here in the pocket. Goes to his right and finds Gesicki all the way on the other side. Again, Myrick just let him go. He might have thought he had safety help behind him, which he didn't.
53 yards, and now McSorley has thrown for 267 in the game. Penn State looking for the lead. An acrobatic catch, but out of bounds. Chris Godwin.
Going on the field is an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
Juggling it as he tried to wrangle it in on the sideline.
It's hard to run quick outs near the goal line. It's a bang-bang play. They're hard to make. Just get that ball a little bit lower. You might have had a chance at a catch. Do it a little bit high, and Godwin just couldn't pull it in. Had it for a second. Just couldn't get. You're still bobbling when he's going out of bounds.
Really good call by Ron Tipton over there, the official. So now 2nd goal. McSorley fakes to Barkley, takes off. And Trace McSorley is in, and Penn State leads.
The old zone replay. And he just ducks it underneath and goes for that pylon. Looked like the point of the ball got across the goal line. Took a hit. Good, tough play by McSorley. He actually misread it. There's a defender right in his face, and he still ducked under and made the score.
And before the snap, we might have this one reviewed.
They want to see if the tip of the ball across the goal
Ball
line.
snap before their officials were ready to play. Still a try for point.
Never mind, they will not review. They just weren't ready for Tyler Davis to kick the PAT. But from down 13-3, Penn State, what a third quarter it's been for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, McSorley's saying, hey, just give me the ball. Let me take care of this. He's leading in a great way right now, making big plays.
267 yards, a touchdown, no picks, and now the rushing touchdown is 2nd of the season for McSorley. Point after good by Tyler Davis. Inside of 2.5 minutes remaining in the third, and Penn State has scored 17 unanswered points. Trace McSorley and the Jimmy John scoring drive puts Penn State up 20-13. 6 plays, 85 yards. Capped it with his 6-yard run, and it took a little over 2 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, with the big play to Gesicki, where Jalen Myrick lost coverage.
And that pass to Gesicki went for 53 and set up the touchdown run. And Myrick is sent out the back of the end zone. Oh, boy, Julius just got drilled. And flags come in. Wow. He got absolutely drilled. I believe it was Jalen Waters, a freshman special teamer, and James Franklin telling his team, we don't need any controversy, get off the field.
That was uncalled for. That was a defenseless hit right there.
It is Jalen Waters.
By Waters. That was uncalled for.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 35. It's a flagrant foul. Disqualified.
And Waters will head for the exits.
He deserves to get thrown out. That was a dirty hit.
35 on the receiving team. It's half the distance to the goal. Number 35 is disqualified.
Yeah, he came out with one mission, and that was to take down Joey Julius.
Joey Julius is clearly slowing down.
The boos are raining down on Jalen Waters as he goes to the locker room. Well, so much, we made a lot about it. A lot has been made. Some national attention for Joey Julius and his tackles on kickoffs. And there, obviously, Minnesota, unfortunately, took it a little personally. And Jalen Waters is out of the game.
It's a feel of the game. Julius was clearly slowing down. He's taking his mouthpiece out. You have to know that as a player. You know the difference.
Waters, though, not a guy that you see in a regular rotation defensively, just a special teamers. And now, Penn State, that kind of energized this crowd even more. Cam Brown and also Marcus Allen coming up to make a stop to bring up second down.
And they are hugging the line of scrimmage right now defensively, daring Mitch Leidner to throw the football. They are clearly out to stop this run game right now in Minnesota. Saying, hey, Mitch Leidner, beat us with your arm.
Minnesota has averaged 228 yards a game on the ground. In this one, they have 139. Leidner will use that arm, and he completes it at the 22 to Brian Smith, his 5th catch of the afternoon.
And that was a little play action in the backfield off the zone play. Mitch flipping his hips around and throwing to the right on the sideline to Brian Smith. Good safe throw to the outside, where that's where you want to throw him if you can, is outside those numbers. That's where it's the safest in the passing game.
Our screen says 3rd and 2. It's more like 4 feet, just over a yard. Here on 3rd down for Minnesota. They will hand it off up the middle, and that should get them what they need. Rodney Smith able to pick it up.
A good push by the Minnesota offensive line. They haven't had a lot of big push today at all. But just enough for the first time, as you said, Brandon. And that Penn State defense right now is not only energized, but they are loading that box.
The Minnesota O-line, they lost so much from last year. But they've revamped once again. It's Brian Smith, the redshirt junior. So Smith comes into this game with 6 receptions on the season, and now he has 6 alone in this contest.
That was great play calling there, because Marcus Allen, the safety, came down to the box. Mitch Leidner, little play fake, and got the skinny post right behind where the safety was lined up. Nice play calling by offensive coordinator Jay Johnson, setting that up.
And he's the one that was telling us that they've been proud of that O-line we were just discussing. I mentioned they lost 6 players last year who had started to combine 115 games. But up front, they have retooled, and they've got good size. Shifting outside, Rodney Smith across midfield.
Wow, he got from the middle of the field to the sideline as fast as anybody I've seen. I mean, he was right in the middle there, and boom, he jump cut to the outside. Here he's up. Woo, there he goes, right to the outside. That's quickness right there. Nice jump cut to the outside. Great vision by Rodney Smith. This is a big drive for Minnesota. It's all Penn State momentum right now.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Timeout.
15 minutes left. That's what remains in regulation in Happy Valley. We expected a good game, and we've got a good game. The Penn State offense woke up in that 3rd quarter. Urban Charles to the house. And the Nittany Lions would also get the score from Mick Sorley, and they lead it 20-13. Kicker Joey Julius. He got into it earlier in the game with Jalen Waters. So there was a prequel to what happened later.
Yeah, they've been battling all game, and all Waters really had to do on this next hit is just get his hands up like he did earlier. Just block with your hands instead of taking the shot like that, especially when a player is slowing down. You know, he kicked the ball deep in the end zone. Everybody was slowing down. You don't need to take the shot there. Just get your hands up.
Great job by our crew of digging that up and making the correlation there. So Jalen Waters and Julius got into it, and now Waters is out of the contest as Minnesota tries to battle back from down 7 here. Once again, it's the 20th carry for Rodney Smith. He has been the workhorse.
That's a rare blitz by Penn State. Defensive coordinator Brent Pry didn't want to go a lot of blitzing today. Didn't want to do a lot of blitzing today because of the young group. There they showed it. Rodney Smith made him pay.
Do you blitz a little bit more with that younger group and some inexperienced linebackers? Do you take more chances or no?
No, not right now. What he's doing is the right thing. Just let him play. Keep it simple. Let him play fast.
7-yard gain that last time. Now Rodney Smith, 95 yards, so he's up around the century mark. And this time he's going nowhere. Nowhere in a hurry thanks to Sharif Miller.
See, they blitzed the last play, and they paid the price. Now they just played simple so they can play fast, recognize their keys. Lost no gain on the play. So that's the benefit of just lining up and play and keeping it simple so they can get their keys, especially with a young group. Man coverage in the back end.
And instead of Rodney Smith, they go to Shannon Brooks in the backfield. They need 4 yards. Trying to run left side, and it's wide open. Shannon Brooks with a house call. And that quiets the 80,000 at Beaver Stadium, and a PAT will tie it.
There was a gaping hole on the left-hand side. It looked like Penn State was misaligned. Again, get back to the youth. Ooh. It looked like Cameron Brown for Penn State, number 31, was right there to make the play. Why he didn't make it, he was free to the ball carrier and did not make the play. Shannon Brooks slipped right underneath him for a big gain and a touchdown.
Shannon Brooks now 9 touchdowns in 12 career games. The PAT just does sneak in that left upright for Evan Carpenter. Shannon Brooks to the house, and we are all even again in Happy Valley. Quarter, 13:29 left. Penn State ties it on the 37-yard touchdown run by Shannon Brooks. How did it happen, Chuck?
Well, Cameron Brown is free, and he has to flatten off and make the play. He is free to the ball carrier. They don't have enough blockers. He just didn't make the play, didn't flatten off and make the play. And Shannon Brooks just wrapped underneath them for the long touchdown run. That's a freshman mistake. They like Cameron Brown. They think he has great upside. It's just recognizing the play. It was a good overloaded defense to stop that play. And he just didn't recognize it. Touchdown. It's split second now. But he'll learn. I mean, he's only a freshman. It's just a matter of recognizing and get experience with it. Just flatten off and you have the ball carrier.
Speaking of being a freshman, the man who ran that in is that one's going out of bounds on the kick. But Shannon Brooks, who scored that touchdown, he led them as a true freshman last year in rushing. Back from the ankle injury, and looked good on that play. But Carpenter did not look good kicking that out of bounds. And that will give Penn State the ball out at the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball he plays at the 35-yard line. First down.
Well, we have a moment. Let's go to the studio in Chicago and Rick Pizzo.
Brandon, Nebraska has seized control from Illinois. Terrell losing 63 yards, his second touchdown of the afternoon. Nebraska's third of the fourth quarter. Huskers over the Illini, 31-16.
Nebraska trying to get to 5-0. And Illinois, if they would lose that one, dropping to 1-3. Here, Penn State 2-2, Minnesota 3-0. Tie game. It's been the great game that we expected. As Trace McSorley and the Nittany Lions take back over, swinging it out left side to Barkley out of the backfield, but that one was snuffed out for a loss.
Swing pass to Bartley, trying to get in your superstar's hands. Minnesota's all over the swing play. That was a good answer by Minnesota. Penn State had all the momentum in this game, and Leidner and company scored a touchdown to tie it up, get the momentum back in their favor. Now they have Penn State in the second long.
But there was quite a sequence there where it was loud here in Happy Valley. It's quiet right now as the offense try to go to work. gives them a little something to cheer about, but they're still going to need 7 more yards after that catch by DeAndre Tompkins.
Good job by Trace McSorley getting some of the yardage back on a second long. You don't want to get it all back. Try to get some of it back and get you in a third manageable, which is exactly what they've done. Third medium now.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 to be precise. First down marker is at the 45. They snap from the 39 here. Trips left. The sophomore Barkley completing it now. Can Gesicki find the sticks? He cannot. 4th down. And a really nice tackle by Demarius Travis.
Yeah, look at Demarius Travis, their veteran, their captain. And the only thing about the route is you want to get the route to the sticks. It wasn't deep enough on the route, and therefore they didn't get the first down, but that was a great tackle by Travis.
They told us he is a leader by example. He's being a little vocal right there, but as long as he makes plays like he did, they want that leader by example mentality that Travis brings to the table. It is a high punt off the foot of Blake Gilligan. That goes out of bounds. 20-20 our score. 11:36 left in the 4th quarter. Football on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. These two teams playing for that. The Governor's Victory Bell. It was started back in 1993 to commemorate Penn State's entry into the Big Ten. First game they just happened to play Minnesota. And so now every time these two square off, they play for that trophy.
Yeah, that looks heavy, Brandon. You let the lineman carry that after the game.
Minnesota is currently in possession of that trophy, having won the last bout between these two teams back in 2013. But that was on their home turf. Now they're in enemy territory. Off play action. Mitch Leidner has an 8-yard pitch and catch. Out to Tyler Johnson, the freshman.
This is an excellent play-action fake by Mitch Leidner, and then going back to his right side, flipping his body around. It's blind to the throw, so he's got to find those defenders when he flips around and get the ball out on time.
Shannon Brooks is the one in the backfield. He had the 37-yard touchdown run last drive that evened things up, but here they're throwing it. And coming up to lay down the lumber, Koa Farmer. All right, Rick Pizzo is ready in Chicago for a studio update.
Brandon, Michigan has taken the 4th quarter lead over Wisconsin. Wilton Spate, 46 yards to Amara Darboh. Wolverines up 14-7. Badgers about to get the ball back.
A good one there and a good one here. 20 all our score at Happy Valley. Fighting for space out to the 45 that time. Brooks tackled by Parker Cawthron. As we get down inside at 10:30 left in the 4th.
That was your zone read. Mitch Leidner made the right decision, give it to Shannon Brooks, and he has a hot hand right now. So they're keeping him in there.
Last week was his first game returning from a broken bone in his right foot. And now they said he's full go this week. He's looked full go. Speaking of full go, Leidner completing it over the middle on a big pass to Drew Wolodarski.
And that was a bullet. He was trying to go to the left, to his left after the play fake to Brooks. Wasn't there. Nice footwork in the pocket, flips his hips. That was a shot over the middle.
Wasn't much room at all because Troy Apke, the safety, was there right on Wolodarski's tail.
You see the arm strength of Mitch Leidner on that throw.
Now from Penn State's 39, Smith with a nice hole. He's got 10 yards to the 29.
Get Rodney Smith back in there. That's exactly what they do. Right up the middle. Nice blocking up front. Starting to open up some holes on that Penn State defensive line. Here in the 4th quarter. Let's see how that plays out.
That carry, by the way, puts Rodney Smith over 100 yards. He's at 104. Brooks has 79. They're picking up where they left off in the win last week against Colorado State. And speaking of Rodney Smith, how about him in the receiving game, taking Minnesota into the red zone?
Nice call by offensive coordinator Jay Johnson with the wheel route to Rodney Smith, come out of the backfield that he called in the first quarter. Put it in his back pocket. There it is. Called it again in the fourth quarter. Nice job of just throwing it right at the running backs, stopping him with the throw because there's defenders up above him, ahead of him. Nice awareness by Mitch Leitner, knowing where the defense was.
Rodney Smith still the tailback. Going in motion, Colton Beebe. Here comes the pressure. He tried to flip it out to Beebe. Torrance Brown was coming for Mitch Leitner, and the pass was wide to Beebe.
And Colton Beebe, even though he's 270 pounds, he has great hands. Didn't get it here. Here's a little bootleg. Leitner had pressure. Tried to throw it behind him as the defender was coming up in front of Beebe. Couldn't make the play, but he has good hands. I saw him on tape last week against Colorado State.
He had a pair of catches in that game against Colorado State. And Mitch Leitner maybe changing things, barking out some new orders, and then turning around and handing it off to Shannon Brooks.
Well, Leitner read the blitz by Penn State to the field, to his right-hand side, so he just went to a slant running play, off-tackle running play to the left-hand side. And Shannon Brooks should have stayed wide. He should have stayed on that path over the tight end tackle. He cut it back too quick there.
So 3rd down and 9, and the crowd rises to its feet at Beaver Stadium. They need to get to the 3. He's going for the end zone. It's intercepted. Jordan Smith, the first pick of the season for Jordan Smith.
And that's on Mitch Leitner. He was late with the throw, and he didn't throw it far enough. He needed to throw it to the back pylon. He underthrew that ball so Jordan Smith could make the interception. There it is right here. He's late. Not enough air on the ball, and he knew it. Just threw it too flat. See how flat that ball is? He needs to get it up and over to the back pylon back here. And you always, those are your aiming points when you're in the red zone, are the back pylons. There's an old rule in passing, Brandon, our ball or nobody's ball. And that's where those back pylons come into play, and Mitch Leitner just threw it too flat. Good awareness by Jordan Smith to turn his eyes around, flip around, and make the play.
And our hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading, is that man right there, Trace McSorley.
And he deserves it. He has worked hard to get this team back in the game.
There, a little miscommunication, though, on the handoff to Barkley. Coming up and making the tackle, Winston De La Boudiere.
Now the way to start after a big interception. Just the snap was too high, threw all the timing off, and not much blocking up front. Not sure what that play was.
Winston De La Boudiere.
Now you're 2nd 15. You just get some of it back. Don't get all of it back. Try to get in the third manageable.
Barkley and Allen, a rare 2-back set for Penn State, but McSorley is flush from the pocket, and he just throws it over to the sideline before being brought down in the end zone. Steven Richardson, the man that Penn State said they had to block, he got through there, as did Hank Ekpe.
And he's tough to block, Steven Richardson. And they had to slide the protection his way to block him. This is a nice play by McSorley, just throwing the ball away. He is playing so smart right now as a quarterback. Knows when to throw the ball away. He has saved a bunch of lost yardage today for Penn State.
Hank Ekpe got through and disrupted that last play. He and his brother Scott both on that D-line for Minnesota. And that brings up a 3rd and 15. McSorley stepping up. Dangerous throw, but it's caught. First
Trace McSorley again, extending the play with his feet.
Timeout. Going into defensive player.
Finding some time in the pocket. Pretty decent pocket. Found some time, took a hit. Concentration down the field. Stops him with the throw before those defenders can get to him to Godwin. Great throw. He's hot down the field right now, especially off the scramble.
When that ball was in the air, as you see Duke McGee going off, he collided with Cody Polk, his teammate. Hopefully he's okay. But when that ball was hanging in the air, I didn't know if it was going to hang up too long.
Yeah, it's a dangerous throw, but, you know, you're the coach right now. Let him play. Don't worry about those throws. He's playing smart.
And Chris Godwin has come to life, 77 yards receiving for their leading target out wide. Great game we are being treated to here in Happy Valley. Barkley trying to spin away, but he spins his way for a loss thanks to Antoine Winfield Jr., the safety.
A rare blitz by Minnesota at the right time. And Antoine Winfield Jr. was on the edge, on a blitz. No one blocked him. He was free to the ball carrier and made the play, get him a second long again. Trace McSorley said, gee, another second long here. What do I have to do?
Well, Winfield, a freshman, mentioned earlier, he's the son of former NFL corner Antoine Winfield Sr., and they say he's one of the most improved players since camp. A bright future for that young freshman. 4-yard loss, second and 14. McSorley trying to bring it in, but unable to. Deshaun Hamilton.
That was a good throw. I mean, he couldn't put it in a better spot. That was an excellent throw by McSorley. Deshaun's got to jump up a little bit, take the ball as highest point, try to get those toes down. But Trace McSorley has impressed me in the second half. He is really throwing accurate balls right now.
He's up over 300 yards, 308. One touchdown, no interceptions.
Another third and long again.
Penn State just 2 of 12 on third down tries in this game. Sorely buying time. Well, he was trying to tell Tompkins to come back. Now we do have flags down at the end of this play.
You have an offensive lineman downfield. Looks like it was Connor McGovern, number 66, down the field.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 66. That penalty's declined. Fourth down.
You get a little 3-yard cushion, but McGovern was more than that downfield.
Yeah, he's a young freshman. See the right guard right here. Good job, and he's going down the field on the scramble. I think McGovern thought it was a screen pass. Because you don't block like that unless it's a screen pass when you throw the nose guard to the side. So he didn't get the play call. He thought it was a screen.
Maybe a mistake by that young freshman, 310-pounder. It's fourth down anyway, and they will punt it. And it goes out inside the 25. Still all even. A great game that we are being treated to in Happy Valley. Coming up a little later tonight in prime time, the Indiana Hoosiers look to make a statement when they battle Michigan State. Coverage continuing right after our game on BTN and BTN to go.
See if Michigan State will bounce back after that Wisconsin loss. Against a high-flying Indiana offense.
They do have a good offense, but boy, Wisconsin, they have looked so sharp this year doing battle with Michigan today, as that one is over the middle and complete for a first down. And once again, for the 7th reception, Brian Smith.
Yeah, nice combination, Leitner to Smith. That's good to see. That's going to help them from here on out. So it's just not all Wolotarski. Nice throw by Leitner.
Wolotarski also getting into the action with 7 catches, so both of those guys have been targeted a lot by Mitch Leitner. Back to Brooks for 3 yards.
Yeah, Brooks running hard. Has confidence right now. Keep me in the game, coach.
And Don't look now, but Penn State has a linebacker, Brandon Smith, down.
Oh.
We've talked about all of their injuries. They lost all 3 starters. They've lost some of their backups, and now Brandon Smith is down.
It's the last thing they need right now. And he's played well today. You know, he makes all the calls. He gets them all lined up.
Last time we have a chance last time these two teams met, 2013. Again, this one was in Minnesota, and the Gophers won it 24-10, taking the Governor's Bell Trophy. They had to take it back because Penn State had it after winning in 09, but Minnesota looked sharp in the first half, got the cushion. They won it 24-10. They got the trophy. They actually broke the trophy celebrating, and then they had to later go back and fix it.
See all those linemen picking it up? Quarterbacks stay out of that.
And Brandon Smith walking off.
He's had a nice game. Getting them all lined up. Their coverage has been a lot better. Their linebacker drops have been a lot better today than last week. They've improved from Michigan to now because of Brandon Smith.
Now more on the shoulders of the other guys. Vanny Bowen, Cam Brown, Koa Farmer. Might have to bring in Von Walker deeper on the depth chart with all the injuries they've had. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 after that carry by Brooks. And speaking of linebackers, Cam Brown, the linebacker on the stop.
Cam Brown, just a freshman. He's learning. Takes a while, but he's going to be a special player here at Penn State.
They want to stop on 3rd down to these fans at Beaver Stadium.
They're having trouble getting lined up, Penn State right now. I think they had to call a timeout.
First charge, timeout of the half. Penn State, so 30-second timeout.
Well, Penn State had to take the timeout. Looked like Minnesota might have had to take a timeout. Neither side was ready. Stick around after the game. Rick, Stanley, and Howard, they will be up next with the State Farm postgame show. But still plenty to be determined in the final 4:11 of regulation.
The play caller on defense is just as important as the quarterback on offense. You know, Brandon Smith goes out of the game, and all of a sudden they couldn't get lined up. They couldn't make the right call defensively. Had to burn a timeout. It's a trickle-down effect when you have injuries like that, and you don't have experienced guys out there. So that linebacker position, especially that middle linebacker, making all the calls on defense.
Well, they have a young team to begin with. Only 12 seniors for Penn State. Only 13 seniors, one of them being Mitch Leidner for Minnesota. A lot of youth on both sides. Now that 3rd down play that these fans have been waiting for. They want that stop. Leidner completes it for the 1st down. What a big throw he finds in the zone there. Colton Beebe. And they move the chains.
Finds Colton Beebe. Big 270-pounder just moves off to the right, buys a little time, finds. Look at the hands of Beebe. Nice soft hands for the big man.
Mentioned his 2 catches against Colorado State last week. That's his first here in this game, and it's a big one. Keeps the drive alive. Play action. Leidner going deep but too far. In the way of Brian Smith, Jordan Smith. It was Smith on Smith there. Jordan Smith with the coverage.
And Jordan Smith had nice coverage on him, and Mitch Leidner just put it in a place where, hey, again, our ball or nobody's ball. Don't underthrow it.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Golden Gophers. Brooks in the backfield. And running around the right side, he's got the 1st down yardage. And Brooks pushed out by Allen as Minnesota is now in business. We welcome in our audience joining us from the Purdue-Maryland game down in College Park. Here at Beaver Stadium, I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Chuck Long, and we have a dandy. 20-20 inside of 3:30 to go in Minnesota. looking to go on top of this drive.
That was just a stretch play to Shannon Brooks. And again, Cameron Brown on the outside. Torrance Brown on the outside. Need to stay outside there. Make that play. Bounced inside.
Leidner with the pocket collapsing. And now it's fully collapsed. Robert Windsor getting in there, number 54. And the Nittany Lions, a big first down stop now. Second down and 14 coming up.
A little play action. They keep working inside. That's what they tell defensive linemen. Just keep working inside. Big sack. They haven't had too many on Minnesota. They don't give up sacks. That was a great effort play.
That's only the second sack, Chuck, that they've given up all year. Only one prior to that point. So second and 14. And no room to go. Rodney Smith trying to cut it back. And now he's in deep trouble. And a flag comes in at the end. The crowd was cheering. They heard there was a penalty marker down. They got quiet. Now they're concerned.
Could it be a face mask at the end, which would be too bad because they'd have Minnesota backed up deep.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wow, what a back-breaking penalty. Looked like you had him third and forever, and they call Marcus Allen for a face mask.
Oh, that just hurts. Here it is right at the end. Left hand, number 2. And they had him wrapped up, too, and, oh, those are the ones that really hurt you. They had him third and forever, and now they have a first down in the red zone.
And from here, it would be a 36-yard field goal, so you're already in field goal range now after that penalty. A fresh set of downs. Here we go. Shannon Brooks fighting for anything. But Penn State has been stout up front here so far this go-around. Aaron Sickles leading away that time.
Timeout and a half. Penn State. 30-second timeout.
And Minnesota wants to run the ball to use some clock here because they're in field goal range. They have a great kicker in Carpenter who hadn't missed all year. That timeout they had to burn earlier because they couldn't get guys lined up because they didn't have their linebacker in there. Comes back to haunt you.
Don't forget to stick around. After we're done, Rick Stanley and Howard, they'll be up next with a State Farm postgame show. But who knows? We may need overtime here in Happy Valley. Minnesota's hoping that's not the case. Carpenter's certainly hoping that's not the case.
Minnesota's going to run the football. Get Penn State to burn their last time out. And try to whittle that clock down.
Tracy Claeys in Minnesota looking for a 4-0 start. Second down and 11 from the 20. Leidner keeps. Dances inside for 3 or 4.
Smart play, get down. Now it's just a matter of where you want Carpenter to kick from, which hash. Or try to get it to the middle of the field.
Penn State takes a timeout, so they have one left.
And final charge timeout of the half. Penn State, this is a full timeout.
And they burned that final timeout right there. So Penn State cannot stop that clock anymore. 1:44 left.
Yeah, again, you needed that other timeout. I keep harping on it, but it's tough when you don't have all your timeouts. And you need it. So, again, they're going to discuss, Minnesota's going to discuss right now. They want to run the ball. And where do they want to put this ball for the kick? Taking the pass, of course, they have Mitch Leidner, who's a veteran quarterback. But I would personally run the football here. And where are you going to run it? Put it in the middle of the field. Sometimes kickers, they want it on a hash. You never know where they want it. Some want it on the hash.
So you get Carpenter where you want him.
Right.
Penn State can't take a timeout, so you let it roll the play clock all the way down. Take your timeout.
Right.
Kick it, and then hope your defense can stand up.
Right. Play the percentages.
Third and 8. Handoff and tackled back at the 19. So they try to stretch it out to the left side. Shannon Brooks tackled by Manny Bowen. Bowen got him by the ankle.
And they were clearly trying to get it to the middle of the field. And they're going to let this play clock go all the way down. Call the timeout. Get Emmett Carpenter out there, who has been a good kicker this year.
Don't jinx him. Well, when they call this timeout, will call it right around with 1 minute left before Carpenter comes on to try to kick the go-ahead field goal. He's 2 for 2 tonight on field goals and on PATs. And Tracy Clay signals it with 59 seconds left. Drama coming up in State
Minnesota.
College.
So 30-second time.
Minnesota led this game 13-3. Then Penn State scored 17 unanswered to go up 20-13. Now Minnesota, a chance to regain that lead with just inside of a minute.
Yeah, huge swings of momentum for both teams. And you had to like what McSorley's done for Penn State, bringing this team back. And they did it off of a third and long call for a big touchdown reception that sparked them.
The sophomore Emmett Carpenter is perfect on the 2016 season. And he is still perfect. Ice water in the veins of Emmett Carpenter, and the Gophers are back in the driver's seat.
Good clock management by Minnesota. And now Penn State will have no timeouts. Less than a minute. But they do have Trace McSorley, and they do have a spread offense. It's a natural 2-minute offense with 3 really good wide receivers.
Now they've got the great receivers, as you say, that we've talked about all game. Hamilton, Godwin. They've got a great tight end in Gesicki, Tompkins as well. But without those timeouts, we'll see how they handle it.
And all they need is a field goal. You know, they can tie it with a field goal.
Trace McSorley, number 9 there, waiting his opportunity to lead the team down the field. Carpenter, after kicking the big 3, now will boot it away. With 54 seconds to go here in Happy Valley. Barkley is the one to try to return it, but he will go down to a knee 5 yards deep. So here we go. The ball will come out to the 25. Saquon Barkley, Trace McSorley and company will try to get in field goal range for Tyler Davis.
And you want edge throws, meaning sideline type throws outside the numbers, or first down throws, because first downs are many timeouts. They'll stop the clock, give you some time to regroup. That's the way we always treated first downs, or many timeouts in 2 minutes. You have some time. Anything less than that, now the clock's running, you're going to run out of time. Edge throws to the outside, first down throws.
Barkley in the backfield to the left of McSorley. McSorley moving up in the pocket and just tries to fling it. That will not be grounding.
Good job.
Did have Smith in the area.
Good job, McSorley. He has done a great job of throwing the ball away. He has saved him so many lost yardage plays today. Breaks down in the pocket. How he got it out, I don't know. That was a great play by McSorley.
Andrew Stetler had him by the belt line there, bringing him down. But indeed, McSorley with a heady play. 49 seconds now. 1 second and 10. Trips to the right. This time the pocket more clean. Deep ball is underthrown. Once again, looking for Smith.
He's trying to get a sideline route, which, again, that's where you want to throw the football. And, you know, you have 4 downs, so you have 2 more to go. Don't panic here. And you have to think, hey, I still have time. I still have time here. You do not want to throw it short of the first down and inbounds where he gets tackled.
He's looking for Barkley on the wheel route there. Smith out of the backfield. So 3rd and 10 for Penn State. And here comes more pressure off his back foot. Diving catch at the 45 by Chris Godwin.
Great play off his back foot, throwing it down to Godwin. Right in the middle of the field. It's a first down throw. Clock stops. Don't panic. Get the ball snapped.
Now they start the clock, and we have whistles before the snap.
Second charge. Timeout of the half.
So Minnesota unable to get set. They burn a timeout.
30-second timeout.
Probably helps Penn State. What a catch by Godwin.
Yeah, just working in the middle here. Nice coverage by Wyrick. He's been covering all day. Oh, what a great catch.
Set the game clock to 38 seconds. 3-8, please.
McSorley throwing off his back foot. Gave us some air on the ball. Let Godwin get around Wyrick to be able to make that play. Excellent throw with air. So Godwin can get off the coverage and make that play. What a great diving catch by Chris Godwin. And big-time receivers and playmakers need to make plays like that.
4th catch, 97 yards now for Chris Godwin. He and Hamilton over 3,200 combined in their careers for those 2 stud wideouts for the Nittany Lions.
And Minnesota's in a cover 2 defense, so the middle is the soft part of that defense. That's exactly where they got to with that pass play. But, man, McSorley is just playing great right now. Playing smart, playing within himself. He's more than a game manager. He's a winner.
Best game of the year by the numbers. 328 yards, a touchdown, both passing and rushing. No interceptions for Trace McSorley. But he needs to have a little more magic in his hat. Across the field, complete.
That clock's going to run now. They have to hurry.
Tompkins tackled inbounds indeed, and now they're scrambling. And they will just spike it with 20 seconds remaining. Now the kicker, Tyler Davis, he's good up to about 55. So they still need to get a little bit more here. They need to get about the 38-yard line to feel comfortable, Chuck.
Right, and that's not that far. And they can get a first down if they get it there on this throw. With one of these throws, which stops the clock, you can spike it.
Need about 10 more yards. The long this season for Davis, just 40. But he hasn't attempted anything over 50 this season. McSorley stepping up. He's got a lot of room to run. Inside the 30 and stepping out at the 21.
Wow.
A 26-yard run for Trace McSorley to put him in field goal range to try to tie it.
And Minnesota just totally broke down in their front 7. Trace McSorley playing smart, saw the open lane. There's nobody in front of him. Gets out of bounds.
He now has 73 yards rushing. He's done it with his arm and his legs.
Only 2 plays left. Take a shot.
He's taking a shot, and it's incomplete. Jalen Myrick on the coverage of Chris Godwin. That's a star on a star.
You got a kick now, but nice play calling. Take your shot with 2 plays left. Oh, just a little bit more air on the back shoulder throw, and he had a chance with Godwin. A little bit more air, and he had it. Had a chance anyway.
This will be a 40-yarder to try to tie us at the end of the fourth quarter. And Minnesota is going to burn their last time out.
Third and final charge. Timeout of the half. Minnesota. It's a full timeout.
Trying to ice the kicker. All coaches do it. But what poise and heady play by Trace McSorley in this second half. He has saved him so many lost yardage plays today. Just by throwing the ball away has impressed me. Just keeping his team alive. Then with the big run, of course, to get him in field goal range to have a chance to tie.
Well, both quarterbacks really have been impressive.
Yep.
Mitch Leidner into the first half led a great 2-minute drive down the field.
Absolutely. Mitch Leidner's played well tonight. You could tell he's a veteran leader out there with experience, threw accurate balls all day long, managed the game well, didn't make mistakes. Both quarterbacks have played very well today. But right now, the hopes of Penn State rest on the right foot of Tyler Davis. Tyler Yazian will snap it. Chris Gula will hold it. And Davis got it. We've seen two great 2-minute drives today. One by Minnesota for the first half, now by Penn State. To end regulation with great quarterback play. Just 2 seconds left. It's been fun to watch. It really has been a magnificent game, a seesaw battle. The Jimmy John scoring drive. 8 plays, 53 yards, 52 seconds off the clock. And a 40-yard boot by Tyler Davis to even things up at 23. And now you figure you just squib this kickoff, don't you? Yeah, you want to squib it. Or kick it out of the end zone, which Joey's been doing. See what Joey Julius does. He does squib it. Myrick comes up and takes it. But no electricity there. Instead, we're going to have some free football from Beaver Stadium.
That is the end of the fourth quarter. Timeout.
Well, this is kind of fitting. We thought coming in we would have a neck-and-neck game, and we've got overtime. We have overtime. And you remember when Penn State went for the field goal early and the crowd booed? They didn't like the call on fourth and goal on the 1-yard line. But that was the right decision, because if they don't make that play, they're probably not in this position right now. Well, actually, they'd have to go for the touchdown. So by going for that field goal early by Penn State allowed them to just be able to go for the field goal to tie it up instead of the touchdown late, assuming they wouldn't have made that fourth down play. So you go back to those decisions as a coach all the time. That was the right decision. Look where they are right now. They're tied up, have a chance to win the game going into overtime. Minnesota captains and Penn State's captains getting ready to head out there for the coin toss to see what's going to happen here in the overtime session. I'll tell you what, though, if you're Tracy Claeys, Penn State has the momentum, and they've got all the excitement right now. But Tracy Claeys has a fifth-year senior quarterback. You like having that in this environment. Absolutely. And he's played like a senior quarterback. You can tell he has great poise. He's thrown the ball accurately. He doesn't panic out there. And his team knows that. They feel that. They feel his confidence. And this is the kind of guy you want in this situation. They're even on the scoreboard. They've been even pretty much everywhere. Total yards right now, 472 for Minnesota, 446 for Penn State. As for the second time, these two teams, the captains shake hands.
Okay, gentlemen, this is an extra period. Each team gets one timeout. They don't carry over. We're going to do this coin toss, all right? If you win the toss, you can go offense, defense, or select in the field of which you would like to play. Minnesota, you are the visitors. We are still using the honorary coin here, so please give me your call, Sadler or Fultz. Fultz. Fultz is the call. It is Sadler. You have won the toss. Defense. Penn State has won the toss and wants to play on defense. What end would you like to play at? Hold down and turn around this way. Penn State has won the toss and let them go on defense. Minnesota's ball first down at the 25-yard line.
And that's what we will see, Minnesota with a football when we start overtime from Happy Valley, thanks to Kyle Davis's field goal. Overtime is made possible by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Let's do overtime here in Happy Valley. And the rules, just to remind everybody, Chuck, take it away.
Well, you get one possession from the 25-yard line. Then after 2 overtimes, you got to go for the 2-point.
And Minnesota has the football from the 25. Leidner hands it off and wrapped up quickly. Rodney Smith tried to stretch it out to the left side. Manny Bowen and company, they were having no part of it.
And what you do, you just get out your red zone game plan. That's what you're looking at on your playboard by both coordinators. Red zone offense, red zone defense. Get out your play sheet and call those plays.
2nd and 9. Off play action, pocket collapses, and down goes Mitch Leidner thanks to Evan Schwan.
Haven't heard Evan Schwan's name. Makes a big play when you need it. Just staying with it. And those interior D linemen just get push, keep fighting, and you'll get to the quarterback sooner or later.
Defensive coordinator Brent Pry said that Evan Schwan's been limited with injury, hoping to get him more snaps this week. They're glad he was out there for that snap.
Now you want to get in field goal range. You want to make sure you get enough, you get a decent field goal kick.
From here it would be 45 yards. And it's going to be about a 45-yarder. Underthrown. Garrett Sickles got pressure and Leidner fell to his backside again.
That was not a good series for the Minnesota offense. And they've been good in the red zone all year. And this Leidner just get pressure here by Sickles. And just couldn't step into his throw on that flat route. I didn't like the play anyway. That was a long throw from this left hash all the way near the boundary on the right side. That's a long throw for anybody.
This will officially go as a 46-yarder for Emmett Carpenter. He's 3 for 3 in this one. And he is 4 of 4. How about the 2 kickers in this game, Carpenter and Davis?
They're both the MVPs of this game. Wow, what a kick.
Emmett Carpenter, first year as a starter, first road game ever as a Big Ten kicker. And boy, has he come up huge.
Yeah, big kick. Again, that series for Minnesota was not very good. But Carpenter bails him out to get him up by 3. Again, now Penn State's turn.
And keep in mind, if Penn State scores a touchdown, it's over.
It's over.
A field goal, and we do it again. Trace McSorley, what can he do here in overtime? 335 yards passing, a touchdown and no interception so far for McSorley. This time it's Barkley. Cutting inside. Barkley, touchdown! And for Minnesota, absolute dejection. James Franklin and Tracy Claeys meet, and Franklin gets the win, and Penn State gets to hoist the Governor's victory bell.
What a great comeback victory by Penn State. Coming out in the second half behind Trace McSorley's throwing and running. And heady play, playing smart, throwing the ball away when he had to. And then they finally give it to Saquon Barkley for a big play when they needed it. And there's just a lot of space right here. And Saquon Barkley, with his vision, found it. No one's going to tackle him in the open field.
Kunle Ayinde was the last man, number 4, to have a chance. But on Barkley's cut, he juked him and high-stepped in for the winner.
Great call by Joe Moorhead. He's been throwing the ball. He spread everybody out, spread that defense out. And just a little inside zone play. He went back to it. Wasn't working very well all game. Went back to it, stayed patient. Hit pay dirt.
What a game.
What a game is right.
If you weren't with us, Minnesota, they looked in control early. They led 13-3. Penn State would then go and score the next 17 to go up 20-13. Then we had the drama there at the end of regulation. Penn State marching into field goal range, kicking the field goal Davis did to tie it. And then the dramatic run by Barkley to win it in OT.
Go all the way back to the spark on 3rd and 11. McSorley hits Irvin Charles for a big play and touchdown that sparked that whole team. And they knew they had a chance. And again, I get hats off to Trace McSorley. He put this team on his back today and won the game. What did Joe Moorhead said, the offensive coordinator? We don't want a game manager. We need a quarterback that's a winning quarterback that can win games for us.
And he showed it here in this one. And a big win for James Franklin, who said just nothing is going our way right now. All the injuries. Speaking of Coach Franklin, he's with Ryan Tripp.
What's the emotion right now?
I'm just really happy for our kids. They battled and they battled. It was not pretty at all, but we found a way to win a game, and we're going to grow from this. I want to thank the fans, because we had every reason today. Pouring rain, everything else. They came out, they supported us, they stuck with us. Very appreciative.
What changed in the second half?
We made some plays. We got the fans back involved. We got some momentum, which we didn't have in the first half.
Describe Chase McSorley's game today.
Well, obviously, he was great. I really want to talk about the linebackers. We've lost more linebackers than most people have on our team. We were on, I think, our 6th middle linebacker. We lost another Mike today. Then we lost his backup. Manny Bowen has never played Mike since he's been here, and he played Mike linebacker at the end of the game. So Trace was awesome, but the way our defense is playing right now under really difficult situations, very proud of them.
Coach, go celebrate with your team. Thanks.
Thank you.
James Franklin, a happy man despite all the injuries. Penn State gets the win. A rainy day in Happy Valley and a seesaw battle took us all the way into overtime. And Penn State and McSorley, bottom line is they just found a way on the winner. Barkley scores it, and they improved to 3-2. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Our final score, Penn State 29, Minnesota 26. Stick around. State Farm postgame show coming up.